problem, you feel me? I need a follow before I do that though. I ain't gonna lie, I need a follow. Thing, bro. I don't see it. Let me pull up. Let me pull up. Hold on. Let me pull up my stream manager right quick. Because ain't no fucking way. Get rewards by watching you upset. Oh, Fortnite got dropped. Okay, that's a bit. That's a bit. That's a bit. Hey, before I talk shit. Look, that's crazy. That is crazy. That's how you can tell who the fuck is bots, bro. That's how you can tell who the fuck is bots. Like, that. Try to make it seem like you're not a bot, but you're on that bot shit. Like, you over here trying to get me to use your fucking map code, but not communicating with a nigga. It's crazy. It's crazy. Cause why the but you're not really a person, bitch. And see, that's why I'm skeptical on getting bot viewers, but I need my bot viewers so I can get to affiliate. So I might have to do that, cause ain't no fucking way that I'm just gonna have to just deal with this shit. Ain't no fucking way. Ow! 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 Oh, I jammed my fucking face. Oh shit! Oh, shake back. 1, 2, 3. Okay, good. Ooh. Ooh. All right, put that right there. This. I ain't gonna clue. Hey, not for real? Fuck that, fuck that, fuck that, fuck that. Cause I ain't gonna lie, I want that to stay official. I ain't gonna lie, I want that to stay official. Hey. Hey. This. Right, that, and this. Okay. Wait. You never said it. Oh, if that nigga called me, I'm not answering. I'm sorry. Talking about my homeboy Joe. The only reason I'm saying that is because I already called this nigga and he didn't fucking answer his phone. So I already know I never answer his calls all the time like that. But bitch, it's your birthday and you asked me specifically for something. And yeah, Fuck that. Fuck that. Fuck that. Alright? Okay. With that being said, I get this. And I say what? See, you ain't give me no follow yet, bro. You all in my fucking chat, but you ain't give me no fucking follow yet, bitch. Little bitch. I see you online right now, man. Hold on, y'all. Hold on, y'all. Oh, where is... Okay, right here. Hold on, y'all. Season 4 finale? I thought it was the series finale. So they coming out with another season? RIP Circle K corner of Foster and Evangeline. They messed up the city with this one. What? They messed up the city with this one. Damn, I was there Thursday. What the fuck? Oh shit. Thought somebody under 500 pounds said something. This girl here. Dipping her shit in Polynesian sauce shop. Man, let me get off this phone. Ooh, let me get off this phone. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Ready? me about to play Fortnite, that means I'm gonna have to turn the Wi-Fi off on this phone. Matter of fact, let me turn it off on the other phone right quick. Okay. Pull back out. You feel me? I got dope. I finally got dope. So. With that being said, let me put this back right here. And I'm going to take this right here. And I'm going to pull it all out here. Let me make sure I got everything out, at least the loose shit. Alrighty. Boom. Alright. Wait. Ain't got time for that. Shit. I just realized. Hold on. Alright. Pull me up. I'm gonna put this one down first and bring this right behind it. And I'm gonna turn it on just in case. Alright. Pull me up. Pull me up. Pull me up. Everything is looking good. I know this is so like random, but let me get this out the way. Ooh. Ooh. I don't think it's enough, but that's good enough for right now. Ooh, shit. Okay, Bobby Boom. Boom. Alright. So, first of all, gonna get this spoon right here. Second of all, we're gonna put this controller right here. Third of all, we're gonna go to this right here. And we just gonna move that camera display down. Keep it right there. Wait, I was about to say, where is... Shit. Alright. 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 Yeah, we gonna... Oh, Christ. Go Power Rangers! Go Power Rangers! Go Power Rangers! You mighty Morphin Power Rangers! Yeah. We might get a game in, we might not. Because y'all already see that I haven't got on earlier. So, yeah. When you take melatonin.
Alright, Dream Team Tommy's just about asleep, so I want to...
What? I'm gonna watch that later. Alrighty. I'm about to say that's the new to you thing.
Okay. So, this whole deal is causing, a backlash from the fans. And I want to make sure that I have it. Because from what I understand, WWE is going to ESPN 2026. But there's a confusion of the price of things.
Alright. That's the audio.
It's Day with Octavius Caldwell Pope. Yesterday, okay, chat, understand? Yesterday was a good day until something started going our way. Everything that could go right was going wrong. Bingo, fishing, karaoke. But it's a new day, man. The odds gotta be in our favor today. We have a long ass day. I know it says desktop screen, but we have a long ass day. I'm gonna make sure to give y'all that little desktop. Where's luck? Shit! Octavius! Yo, he's Caldwell Pope. Do you feel my guy? Shit!
We gon' rob him. We gon' take his face off. Alrighty. I'm not seeing anything on the recommended page. So, here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna press 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Wait. Yeah, fuck that. Subscriptions! Alright, we're gonna go over and over and over and over. But it's not coming up. Why is it not coming up? Do I gotta turn the Wi-Fi off on this too? Oh, I didn't turn the Wi-Fi off on this. I ain't gonna turn it off until I play. And most likely, I might not play. Just because I'm drunk right now, bro. Like, I'm drunk. I'm not full of liquor, but I'm drunk.
Have you seen the video?
So, I would just go down until I see something that I want to watch. And it's probably going to stop right here because this is where I was in the morning. So, already watched that. Don't want to watch Neighbors. Don't want to watch Suicide Squad. But should I? Nah, I'm gonna go to Rare Reject. Wait, let me go to Strong Next right quick. Alrighty, 9 days ago, yep. Yep. Not New Rockstars, Rare Rejects. And we're gonna watch Eyes of Wakanda. Woo-hoo. Wait, should I watch Shazam? I'm gonna watch Shazam tomorrow. I'm gonna watch Shazam tomorrow because most likely I might watch the Suicide Squad. So okay, so yeah. Okay. Okay, I'm doing it right there. 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 Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Right. Boom. So yeah. So yeah. So yeah. We're gonna do that while I eat some of this good ass chili that my aunt made. I'm not even gonna smoke right now because I want to get some food on my stomach. I really haven't eaten like that today. Like I had a salad, and that's it. Real shit. So I'm about to get to eat.
Stand by these values, fighting for what rightfully deserved.
Who, me?
Citizens and Wakandans of the Reject Nation, welcome back. Today, Coy and I are here for a very special 4-part reaction. We are watching The Eyes of Wakanda. We're watching all 4 episodes in one video here, so if you want to click around at each episode, you can do that.
Just chatting right quick. Hold on.
Before we
Hold
get
on.
into this video, Coy, how you doing today, man?
I have no voice, but I'm well. I have not stopped talking since May, and finally my voice said no. So if I sound like this, I'm sorry. The eyes of Wakanda are strong. The throne of Ireland is weak. I'm so tired.
The Throne of Ireland, that is
I
the
did
spin-off.
13 THR interviews in 2 days, and then I worked 7 a.m. to 10 p.m. Saturday, and then on Sunday I had gone to like stuff at night, so I've not recovered. And that was after Superman 6 months, and after Fantastic Four, and then now this. So tired.
Good God, man. Whether you get to rest your eyes of Wakanda after this.
I hope so.
Oh, man. I'm doing okay. It's been a busy freaking week in the life of Aaron here. You know, we've both been dealing with things and helping my girl move, like some car issues.
Crosstown?
Her mom's moving to Vegas and she's moving to Sherman Oaks. It's like a 20-minute.
Okay.
But yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they both got a lot of stuff, so it's been like 12, 13-hour days packing. But that's neither here nor there. I'm ready to take a break from that and watch this Marvel show. Thank you so much for being here. But we need your help. We are fighting the evil forces that are
Anyways,
strikes.
let's go full screen right quick.
And going over to Patreon, where Greg and John do exclusive movie shows over there, all kinds of goodies. And yeah.
Bro, it be sounding like... And it do! I thought I'd be tripping. Oh, I thought I'd be tripping. I be like, bro, it be sounding like it be dripping in this bitch. Where could it come from, though? I don't feel no witness at the bottom. I really don't feel no witness at the bottom. But I'm guessing it's coming through this hole right here with the power cord, whatever. That's crazy. That is crazy. And I've been hearing that for like the last week now, bro. Like real shit. Probably like longer than that. But it's all good. It's good.
What color is the flag?
Hold on. Y'all see the swag though. Bird fit.
Drop right at the top. Love it.
Very cool.
85, 86 hardwood classic.
This is art style. It's so cool.
It's like
Real
a
shit.
mix between animatics, clay painting.
And I got the green Adidas fit on. Got the Snorlax socks on with the Nikes. Yeah, I got Adidas with Nikes on. Fuck y'all. I'm not rich, but I love Nike.
One day only.
God is grace, God is good. Love, thank you for this football. Here we fed. Thank you for delivery again.
Talking drum right at the top. Love it.
Very cool. Oh, this is art style. It's so cool.
It's like a mix between animatics, clay painting, and going on. Who they're producing. Shit.
I'm so happy we're on this game. It's on the show.
Yeah. One day only.
One day only. You know, Disney, we gotta talk about it. We gotta release all these black shows in one day.
What color is the flag?
Oh,
Interesting. I love your fits.
So far, I like the colors more than the animation style, but I think I just have to adjust.
Yeah, it's definitely different than what I'm accustomed to as well. But I'm liking the textures.
Yeah, the palette is cool, like the choices they're in, but the actual animatic style is on to me.
Oh, whoa, whoa. Oh, I love the painting in the background.
Yeah, that really sings. The kids call that aura farming. And it's effective.
Yeah. He is him, as the kids also
That's
say.
the kids also say.
Those who embrace this new life under his divine hand will rise. Those who resist will be convinced.
Only divorce.
We're sure by the lion's grace is to know true freedom.
I don't trust him.
I need some panther up in here to fight this lion.
His new world is your only home.
Yeah.
No one is my master, and I already have a home.
Earlier.
Catch up.
Okay.
I love musical comedy.
Yeah, no, they really crafted something beautiful using that template that
It's got such a flavor.
One of our highest ranking officials was vanished.
Vanished from Wakanda?
No, his name is Kat. Once I respected Captain of the Green Guard. Fleeing the kingdom was betrayal enough, but this renegade also took dozens of dangerous items with him. He could fashion an arsenal of advanced weaponry.
And make himself a king. Somebody needs to stop him.
Yes, we agree. Thanks in no small part to your expulsion, he does not know you.
Oh my
and
God.
will never see you coming. But bring the lion and the stolen Kashi home, and you will be the one waking back as a daughter of Ash. What's more,
Okay. Make this up.
this red must be
Ah.
remember,
Fuck yeah!
stay on mission. Accept no destruction.
I need some smoke. So
Somebody.
that's why I'm gonna take a break right now.
Set no distraction.
Okay, one more bite.
Where is the lion?
You will learn to love him too.
I like the animation, movements, and color. I think it's just design.
2 more bites.
I can't quite shake the layering or something.
It seems like the designs themselves, you're having
Yeah, it's like I like the way they move. I like the way the color works. There's something about like some of the over stylized versus like some stuff looks photorealistic and some stuff looks very cartoony. So my brain is having a hard time. Like,
I don't know if it's 'cause I'm
settling
drunk right
into
now.
what it looks like.
Oh fuck, boy! Oh shit!
I wonder if some of the stuff is based on like African art design.
Very well could be. But then the photorealistic stuff, like I wish it was all as stylized or all, you know what I mean? Like one
You think
type of look.
You feel like it's conflicting.
Yeah.
For the pride of the lion.
Ah!
Why would
Am
you
I
say that?
talking?
Okay, let's go.
Re-educate.
It's been
And in return, he asks only for you to smile. So,
I don't know how long,
smile.
It's interesting. Parts of the style.
but it's been some days since I had some weed in my system. Well, hitting the bone, and I ain't talking about residue.
Soon may the
Come, guys. New ideas.
It is an instinct that must be removed for your own good.
Slap left and right, man.
Imposter! The only imposter here is you! Pretending to re-educate these women as you lead them into a life of slavery!
This was a good show. And people talk about it like it's equivalent to
Chair just for a little scope.
Tales of the Jedi or Tales of the Empire or whatever. I haven't watched Tales of the Empire, but Tales of the Jedi,
It's a part of the chair.
I feel like it's better than Tales of the Jedi. I ain't gonna lie. Me personally, I feel like it's better than Tales of the Jedi. And I just recently watched something that Tales of the Underworld. That's what I was watching. It's definitely better than that. I ain't gonna lie. It gave us a little hot hole, whatever, filler. But like, nah.
If you kneel now, you may still allow you to soar. I have never been good at following orders.
That's why they picked you, Normalogic. He's gonna have like a lion-esque version of Black Panther suit, it looks like. Some other ritualistic, magic infused, some tech.
Hold on, yeah, I gotta turn it on. I don't have to turn it on, but I'm gonna turn it on. If y'all don't know what I'm doing, I'm just picking out the bigger buds and just putting them to the side. Shit! Oh, almost fell.
There's no runners, just yeesh.
You must not get distracted, Lucky. Be a ghost movie.
Everyone's favorite character in Chelsea.
Of course. His chamber would be at the top.
I think it is. I think it's more anthology style.
I'd imagine rightly different experiences in Wakanda in this world.
And I'm not being aggro with it because I'm not using my scale or anything.
Working everybody.
But I just want the biggest ones to be
Either way.
put to the side.
Oh shit. To be honest, because they don't have access or the knowledge of Wakanda.
It doesn't look like they got access to any knowledge except for Washington too.
Boop. Boop. Boop.
Secrets they do not
Boop.
believe.
Oh, boop. That's crazy. I came out to the perfect amount of buds to put in the grinder.
So distrust.
There is a risk when they send people like you and me out into the world.
And what is that?
We see it for what it is.
Free thinkers.
Why follow the path they set out for you? You could make your own, yeah, as they all have. I freed these people from their suffering.
Did you?
If freedom is what you offer, why are there so many chains?
Yeah.
Flowers.
A world their descendants will go free, united under one banner. My banner.
He's like Mongrel and Superman, 10%.
If you will not return with me willingly, I will bring you back in a coffin.
It's interesting. I wonder. I hope we didn't miss the dialogue. I wonder why they haven't sent about the Black Panther themselves to deal with this.
Assuming it's not a big enough threat yet.
Because I have to imagine Black Panther already exists at this point, but the year 1200 or 1200 something. They're also there.
Yeah, I'm wondering if it's other things and then up to a certain point of worry.
Kirk fight. Love it, Hanks fight.
Like silks in a ballet. It's cool.
Okay, I thought you had an eye for a
Yeah, I
second.
thought it went through the mask.
None of us will need to do a war. These books be forgotten, but at least I know them again.
Whoa.
Gee, whoa.
Always lost to the depths.
Yeah, if I'm remembering correctly, it also kind of reminds me of a mix of Killmonger's dad. He left because he was like selling weapons, and then Killmonger himself.
I offer you a return to your former rank as a Dora Milaje of Wakanda.
This isn't your greatest sweet tea. It's new Sprite Plus tea. It's better than tea. It has Sprite and tea flavors.
What did I do, baby? And what did you do to my bitch?
Try new Sprite Plus tea. Obey your thirst. Oh, you gotta go.
New Energy CRX for 100% renewed skin in less than 3 weeks. No cool.
In case y'all don't know what time it is, it's 8:20 p.m. August 9th, 2025.
USA and grandpa's.
And I'm always saying the year just in case people down the line want to decide to watch my videos and just need to know the date because I don't have the date in the corner of the video, you feel me? So No. I don't care if y'all use that card. Fuck, I'm in debt on that card anyway, so I'm ain't tripping. Plus, it's probably locked anyway, but yeah, I ain't got no money on that fucking card. And I used all the bar money and everything. Whew. Bruh.
Select Nike styles for 25% off at Academy.
I wish to serve Wakanda, but not as a Kalabashi.
Wakanda is still freedom.
I am ready for anything.
Good. Then welcome to the world doors.
That is the same title, but a different context. It's the same thing he called her, but from her as a compliment and a position. Now I'm thinking maybe it is just going to be her story in 4 episodes, because it ended in a way that felt like a setup.
Yeah.
I can see it either being an anthology and new characters, or it could be her taking on that mantle.
Yeah, well, that mean was her journey from there. Curious. Eyes of
I ain't never represent, baby.
3, 2, 1. Another painting.
Yeah, the backdrop's.
Chief! Deploy archers!
Odysseus, your machine has reached the city walls.
Excellent.
So interesting.
Burn Wakanda into Greek history.
Yeah.
Signal the army. Be long now before the Myrmidons open the gates.
The Trojans are relentless.
Perhaps. But we have something they do not. Achilles.
We're going to full on.
Yeah.
Scouting.
Trojan horse action. Achilles v Black Panther.
Hold on, y'all. I'll be back. I'll be right back. I'll be right back. boy.
Charging start.
Hold on, y'all. Hold on, y'all. Hold on. I ain't finna talk about people. 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 Oh shit. But it's crazy how people be though. Oh shit. Damn. But not for real, it's crazy how people be though. It's crazy. It's fucking crazy. Hold on. Oh, I'm about to say, bitch, what? Alright, got it on Twitch. Got it on YouTube right there. Because the only reason I got it like this, because I want to get the keychain that's right there on the side of that Wolverine cup. Yep, it's right there on the side of that Wolverine cup. So yeah, that's good. That's good. That's good. Anyways, let's get the light right quick. Because I put the light up and everything, bro. I ain't gonna lie. I was like, yeah, I ain't getting no lead no time soon. Oh, well. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Hold on. Hold on. Okay. Okay. All right. All right. Okay. Pull that ball. Boom. Let's get it. We finna start this over though. Not the whole thing, but like from the second episode. There we go. Boom. And we finna hit the dope.
In a position. Now I'm thinking maybe it is just going to be her story for episodes because it ended in a way that was yeah. I can see it either being an anthology and new characters, or it could be her taking on that mantle.
Yeah. What that means, her journey. Damn. Here it is. Alright, so okay. 3, 2, 1.
573. I think that's banked. I think that's banked.
This is your machine has reached the city walls.
Excellent.
So interesting. Remember Tony did the previous thing?
Yeah.
Signal the arm. Belong now before the movement house begins. The Trojans are relentless. Perhaps that we have something they do not. Achilles.
We're going to go on.
Scouting.
Trojan horse action. Achilles beat Black Panther. Come on, Brad Pitt. Get him.
The Trojans need to stay.
Let me hit this fucking weed, bro, before I get irritated. Just a little hit. Just a little hit. Just get my lungs back settled, you feel me? Because I haven't had no flour in 2 days. Like, even though I saved that, what that was, sorbet haze, that shit hit me like it was some fucking fent-laced weed, bro. I ain't gonna lie. But it's all good. It's all good. It's all good.
And new characters, or it could be her taking on that mantle.
Yeah. What that means, Virgin. There. Here he is. Eyes of Wakanda. Okay. 3, 2, 1. Another painting.
Yeah, the backdrop's.
Please! Deploy archers! This is. Your machine has reached the city walls.
Excellent.
So interesting. Burn Wakanda into Greek history.
Yeah.
Signal the army. It'll all now before the Myrmidons open the gates. The Trojans are relentless. Perhaps. But we have something they do not. Achilles.
We're going like full on.
Huh? It's coming.
Trojan horse action. Achilles v Black Panther. Come on, Brad Pitt. Get him.
The Trojans need to stay distracted. Achilles, come quickly. You're not going to like this. Ah, Hades. Oh, Hades.
Oh hell.
They build, we adapt. You're right, Lennon. There is always a way.
It's funny they clear remember these names. They're like no registers.
And I just watched, I want to say about a year ago, so it's interesting to see within this context. Ah, same tech from last one.
Wonder if he had a little chair for him. So is it Wakandan tech and then them getting it back? Maybe that's the connection between the anthology. Wakandan's reclaiming their tech.
Interesting theory. I think maybe right with that.
So it's through one so far, not time or space. Or maybe this is the Eye of Wakanda.
The intro so far is based off of that first episode. So maybe each one gives us a little tidbit to
What we're seeing
experience.
before.
Oh yeah, it seems
Maybe
like
like
it.
this one.
Yeah.
Trojan, some warrior work.
Okay.
China.
Yeah, some
Some
hand-to-hand
of that,
action.
yeah, martial arts, and then we got maybe the future.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Those are my guesses. The fourth is future, third is Far East. This one is Trojans.
Yeah.
They're like no registers.
And I just watched, I want to say about a year ago, so it's interesting to see within this context. Ah, same tech from last one.
Wonder if he had a little chair for him. So is it Wakandan tech and then them getting it back? Maybe that's the connection between the anthology. Wakandan's reclaiming their tech.
Interesting theory, I think. Maybe right with that.
So it's through one so far, not time or space. Or maybe this is the Eye of Wakanda.
The intro so far is based off of that first episode. So maybe each one gives us a little tidbit to
What
our
we're seeing
experience.
before.
Oh yeah, it seems
Maybe
like
like
it.
this one.
Yeah.
Trojan, some warrior work.
Okay.
China.
Yeah, some
Some of
hand-to-hand
that,
action.
yeah, martial arts, and then we got maybe the future.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Those are my guesses. The fourth is future, third is Far East. This one is Trojans.
Yeah, I wonder if Marvel's committing to this being canon.
They don't commit to much with canon. Especially
They don't
animation.
commit too much with
They just
canon.
make
Hey, bro.
Ah, same tech from last one.
Wonder if he had a little chair for him. So is it Wakandan tech and then them getting it back? Maybe that's the connection between the anthology. Wakandan's reclaiming their tech.
Interesting theory, I think. Maybe right with that.
So it's through one so far, not time or space. Or maybe this is the Eye of Wakanda.
The intro so far is based off of that first episode. So maybe each one gives us a little tidbit to our
What we're seeing
experience.
before.
Oh yeah, it seems
Maybe
like
like
it.
this one.
Yeah.
Trojan, some warrior work.
Okay.
China.
Yeah, some
Some
hand-to-hand
of that,
action.
yeah, martial arts, and then we got maybe the future.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Those are my guesses. The fourth is future, third is Far East. This one is Trojans.
Yeah, I wonder if Marvel's connected.
He got it. He got it.
They don't commit to much canon, especially in animation, man.
Right.
They just make an ish up.
Second hand.
What if? Nah.
What if not?
What if not? Eyes Wakanda.
Legends and lies. I'm also very curious to know what this is for. Is this like supposed to be for families or adults? I know that I say that because they're very conservative with their usage of blood.
Yeah. Except for scratches on necks and stuff, but they don't actually show a lot of death.
Right, we're using swords and spears and stuff.
But nobody's getting punctured.
We have it on to be found. Carry on the Hades. Call for retreat. Odysseus wants us to fall back. Coward!
Oh.
Memnon with the save. Watch your heels.
He's lost.
Yeah.
That'll learn him. It's a long beat too for a 30-minute show to spend.
Right.
Maybe not him like tantruming. Sure, they'll come back at some sort of like weakness of his, but Wakanda Tech healing up. Why aren't I better at fighting? Look at my beautiful hair.
Look at my beautiful hair. Childish.
Thank you. Someone has to be here to put the coins on your eyes for your betterment. These barbarians, they have convinced you on his loyalties. But I have never been one to trust an outsider. We must not let the endurance of our enemy break the bonds of our brotherhood. Especially with victory so close at hand.
Can't get a little racist when you start losing.
No nod at only God.
I think now is the perfect time for one last trick on Troy.
So we are doing the Trojan Horse.
How do you convince your enemy to invite you into his home just to make you think he's won? And how will you do that? By presenting Troy with a gift.
You've had a hard time getting over the animation. I'm having a hard time getting over the fact there's a beard with a mustache.
You know, it's a choice. It's a style choice.
He
made.
childish. He childish. That nigga said, it's crazy that you're having a hard part with the animation, but I'm having a hard part with him having a beard but no mustache. Like, what? What? Oh, shit.
How do you convince your enemy to invite
He
you into
childish.
his home just to make you think he's won? And how will you do that? By presenting Troy with a gift.
You've had a hard time getting over the animation. I'm having a hard time getting over the fact there's a beard with a mustache.
You know, it's a choice. It's a style choice he's made. Oh. It's not a spy for those people, he's a Wakandan spy.
Really good.
Hello, pager. 1200's pager, whatever this is.
Well, I take back what I said about Troy. Man is a lunatic genius. Madman.
It was BC, right?
Shouldn't read history better.
Sorry, history buffs.
And what will the legendary Achilles do without a war tonight?
We're in Nolan's The Odyssey next year.
Right.
It's so long, I hardly dare to think about it. Victory's so close, I cannot help myself.
Legends and Lies.
I realized, Lex haven't called me yet. Well, she called this morning. And I kind of got on her ass on some shit.
But I'm in a conflict that's just
Sorry.
this country, man.
I wasn't trying to. I ain't gonna lie. I wasn't trying to. I didn't know. Shit.
considering there's a wedding,
Nah.
I'm gonna say he goes with his country.
Has a Wakanda show.
She haven't called yet. And I thought she was gonna call like after she was done getting her nails done.
Real conflicted.
Oh, but I forgot that you gonna see her cousin though, so yeah, that's probably what happened. That's probably
Put a little refund on it. It's different.
I still don't understand these people's sports obsession.
He was just like, no!
One step too far. Never.
That is our own mission.
You were right. Flying over kid.
Yeah, that's a classic story. Not in a significant way. Significant for Wakanda.
From there, quite fictionally significant.
This is our lives you're after. Get it over with. Helen.
You have no idea what I've given up to recover this. 9 long years.
On a mission. Fine.
Cover for a while. Don't go home.
You will not get another chance. Memnon! Memnon!
Oh, it's not what it looks like. No.
Oh, not a traitor at all. But wait.
Do not let anger force your hand.
It's been since March? Hell no.
Just let me go
Home?
home.
Oh, what?
Okay.
I thought it was like way higher up. Yeah.
Achilles!
What was that?
Achilles, no!
You dumb mofo.
Whatever this power is, it will belong to Grace.
Hell. Gotta take you out though.
You are done taking from me. No.
Oh.
Yo! That was sick. Ooh. Damn. That was a killing blow right
Yeah,
there.
he's not playing anymore.
You didn't betray Grace.
Betrayed me.
You betrayed me.
I'm about to say, damn, I forgot about that, but I should have till September 5th. So yeah, I'm good.
Ooh.
Stay down.
We're actually to the 2nd, to the 5th. But yeah.
Please, just give it to me.
But nah, I can knock it all out the way right now, so I might do that tomorrow.
Everything. Not everything. For your family.
And which type of shit Fortnite got going on? Because I saw that shit when I started the stream.
6 months later.
Okay. It is good to see you back on your feet.
Oh, cool.
You have been confessing, given so much, but you have had time to worry about
That was a killing blow right
Yeah,
there.
he's not playing anymore.
You didn't betray Grace.
Betrayed.
I'm sorry, but y'all know that I haven't
Yeah.
didn't see it.
Achilles.
What was that?
Achilles, no.
You dumb mofo.
Whatever this power is, it will belong to Grace.
Take you out though.
You are done taking from me. No.
Oh.
was a killing blow right
Yeah,
there.
Shit,
it's not playing anymore.
You didn't betray Greece. Betrayed me. You betrayed me.
Grab by the ankle, sweet. Grab by the ankle, sweet.
Wow!
Stay down.
Man, some stuff.
It is over. Please, just give it to me.
Oh!
Lose everything. Right. Remember, not everything. For your family.
Not very promised him earlier.
This was a good show, bro. I'm surprised it's not really getting talked about. Like,
It is good to see you back on your feet.
Oh.
nobody really bringing it up like they'll bring up the movies, or they would bring up Loki or WandaVision or Moon Knight.
Yeah, like this little.
Send me back out into the field. It is where I belong.
If that is your wish.
Curious if it's gonna be like each episode builds to like a group, or if like he becomes an antagonist in the next episode. Like,
Oh. Because yeah, that one definitely seemed more like a lead into the next one than I thought the first one was, but that one felt even more direct.
yeah,
What does it mean?
This is cringe.
Comics.
This is cringe. Why the fuck they got this part? Whatever. Nah.
Proximity Media presents Eyes of Wakanda.
Oh fuck.
Watched 2 episodes thus far.
2 out of 4.
Out of 4. What lies next?
More eyes.
More eyes, more Wakanda.
4 eyes.
Oh, that is that's the eyes.
You ready?
Correct. Let's get it. Alright, we're going into episode 3 and 3.
He is in 1400.
1400? Oh, my bad. Wait, no.
He's in 1400, right?
Oh, yeah, 1400.
Right now, it's 2025.
Oh, you're right. My bad. You're so like that's the future.
You said it like within it was like,
Nope, that's not what it is.
600 years ago, not 2,000 years from now.
You're right.
Hey, Jalen, what's harder, picking plays or picking outfits?
Next course.
You gotta be twice as good. Can you throw twice as far?
Who is this?
Is Sprite responsible for your success?
Nah, but it tastes good.
If you want to refresh and drink, Sprite. Obey your thirst.
You can get this fixed now and pay later. You can get this fixed now and pay later.
Yeah.
And this. Get it fixed now.
Long as first.
4 interest-free payments at SafeLife.com.
Safe like repair, safe like replace.
Try gummy vitamins from Nature Week, the #1 pharmacist recommended vitamin and supplement brand.
Hit it, kid.
Whoa, Snow don't have me rock on 16 in the between us photos.
Give us the phone back.
Get the new iPhone 16e for $49.99 when you switch. Visit your nearest Boost Mobile store.
No matter what kind of teeth you gotta brush, Oral-B Electric cleans better with one simple touch. Oral-B's dentist-inspired rubber brush head hugs them, cleans them, and gets in between them for 100% cleaner teeth. Your perfect clean starts with Oral-B.
Choosing country over person again.
Grand, settle on by your knee.
Oh. I think this guy's vibe so far feels more playful, more adventurous than the previous two protagonists. More joyous.
I don't know if it's because, you know, the setting, I get Mushu vibes.
Oh! Very cool.
He actually has an easy time. Just goes home. That was it.
Yeah, alright. Real short episode.
I am sorry to report. I encountered no actual dragons. It's a local superstition. There is no castle on the dead big food. We get none.
That's what I was just thinking. Yeah, no, that's too easy. What's going on?
And he's gonna meet the dragon after these credits.
Yeah. Hopefully, keep it interesting. Get a little mystical up in here. Like, yeah, Wakanda's already so futuristic. Like, he had a plane in the year in 1400.
Not 4,000.
No.
Maybe a little bit of 4,000 next. Who knows?
Yeah, it seems like this is a way bigger jump between the first and second story. How is that one connected if they're all like great grandparents? Lost and found. Legend and lies, lost and found.
I thought there'd be a force field. I thought it'd be a dragon. Nah.
Nah, we got to take
I got
that.
Wakanda.
You were only supposed to take what was inside this statue.
We have procedures to ensure our missions go unnoticed.
They will notice his head is gone. And the people you fought nowhere.
You will be seeing a lot more of it if our Counselor Akim is not satisfied with your mission debrief. He does not have the same patience for your methods as your admirers do.
Back then, Wakanda was so beautiful. Sure, beautiful text, landscapes.
The mission is what matters here, my counselor. But at what cost, agent?
This isn't right.
That's fine. Wakanda. Step on board.
That's how we got out so easy. I thought he was watching them.
Ooh! Maybe that's fine. Maybe a thing.
Did something happen in the mission?
Yes, I succeeded.
Too cocky, too reckless.
This is not some contest you need to win. It is people's lives.
Think about that guy's design. It looks like more real. I don't know what it is.
The detective expecting your airship has not submitted your flight records for some reason.
They did something natural, dude.
Yeah, the last two episodes of that show was really peak. I ain't gonna lie. The first two was, I wasn't gonna call them filler,
First 2 episodes,
but they were
I don't really
not
think I
as
love
pivotal
Dragon Animation.
as the
But
third and fourth
it's
episodes.
just a style that doesn't feel as comfy for me. Oh, Iron Fist.
I think it is.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. Everything is okay. You want my shot? Follow me.
Interesting. Taste though.
Intruder! Attack!
That makes the dragon real. That makes a lot of things real because like that's how Iron Fist is their power. That was the guy.
They said your name, Basha. I warned you something was off about our intel.
I was probably the chick he was thinking about.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah.
He led something into Wakanda. He and Captain Eve will both have to answer for this.
You should say, "你怎么敢进来的?"
That was great.
Baby! Listen! Oh! Come back to health and then you left me. Dang, what a dog, bro.
Did everything for you. people from the people directly.
Directly.
This is kind of fun.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Iron Fist showed up. I was like, wasn't 100% sure.
1400, yeah.
And then he left me. It wasn't even about the stolen stuff, just because you left me.
I told you, kids know every instant. To see what you're up to. This is only fun.
All this time, I thought you actually cared about me.
Wow.
Bitch.
Unless I get what you stole from us.
It was stolen from us.
We've never stolen anything. I pulled you out of the snow. I took you in.
I was on a mission.
And now, so am I.
Oakville Railroad.
Reinforcements are no doubt already converging on the orange sector, so if you wish to get your hands on the statue, you are sorely mistaken.
Thanks.
Told her right where to go. Fight.
Are you? I'm the phone. No. I'm Sigil's too.
I do like this concept of a Wakanda and an Iron Fist getting together. I'm like,
Yeah, it's a fun way to play with that lore. It's not traditional.
yeah.
Like you said, the mission comes first.
I already know.
There are like ancient Avengers comics where there are ancient Iron Fists and ancient Black Panthers that have converged, but I've never seen that like romance elements and like the one-on-one. But there are like OG versions of the two. There it is. Fist.
For the last time, please.
I like you, Marshall. I've tried really hard not to hurt you, but I am out of patience. Step aside.
Still holding back.
Yeah.
I do like this concept of a Wakanda and an Iron Fist.
There are like ancient Avengers comics where there are ancient Iron Fists and ancient Black Panthers that have converged, but I've never seen that like romance elements and like the one-on-one. But there are like OG versions of the team. There it is. Fist.
For the last time, please.
I like you, Marshall. I've tried really hard not to hurt you, but I am out of patience. Step aside.
I'm gonna try to kill him.
Kinda try to kill him.
She's still holding back.
Yeah.
This has been my whole life.
Mine too.
Oh, it's the lion mask.
Yeah.
Might be the way it connects.
Room for the different
The artifacts from what we would have, yeah. This also feels like the concept of Steve going back and retrieving all the Infinity Stones. It must be very glad I didn't hold his own for a second against a fist.
Sticky vibrating?
That's cool.
How are you doing this?
I am Tron, guardian of the mountains. I defeated the immortal dragon Shola. I have the Iron Fist.
Cool.
Very cool. Whoa. God, I can't wait to get a proper live action Iron Fist now.
And really, if they're gonna bring in like Luke Cage and Jessica Jones and stuff as they might, then I'd love to see Jessica Henwick. Jessica Henwick's such a badass.
That would be cool.
That was right at the very end.
You like it or not, everything I have done today, I have done to keep that statue out of her
And
It still feels weird they're not mentioning Black Panther.
at all.
At all.
Every time I see that shit, I'm like, ooh, ooh.
If you had just told me first.
He would have just told me from the start.
That is all you needed to do. Why are you like this?
Just trust me and follow my lead. It was a training exercise.
Huh?
And this is mine. I think you've taken enough from me.
Bring me back.
I can get you to your airship undetected. Whatever you say. Agent Evil.
Agent Evil. I like it.
It's probably the most fun episode. At least my favorite.
Shit. No, for real though. That's why I say like the episode 3, episode 4 was real like peak.
The worlds together was cool, and continuing the retrieve your artifact. And like it's an interesting play on like obviously the African artifacts have been stolen for thousands of years and dispersed from the country. The idea of gathering them back, but in a way that isn't like how Killmonger did. Like that, it's interesting to play on those tropes.
Yeah, no, I think this one, I agree, was the most fun, the most fast-paced as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this one, the relationship between them a little bit. Yeah.
It is 9:18. I've been on here for an hour 45 minutes.
Artifacts being
That's
retrieved.
longer on those 5, right?
And yeah, each one of the episodes, or at least the second and third, were primary.
Not really. I've been on
And I just
Twitch
looked
for like
at the first one as well.
3 more minutes.
And use of Kunlun and like the ancient culture and how it was their statue after 1,000 years and it became so important to them. I like that. One more to go.
One more to go. Getting it in. All right, you guys, this is the final episode of Honda. Thank you so much for joining us today. We're going to start this final episode.
I must admit, it really is quite remarkable what they have managed to build here.
Near past.
They're just going to take it all down. The more time you spend in the outside world, the extra value.
Block Bob.
No one may say, Buddha, when the zeros in this world, all of the back of the biggest data. If our intelligence is correct, it should be located in the storage house, right through the west part of the islands. Prepare for the central network.
Stupid ass.
And historical context, because it must navigate the state of play. You see the very ones are from a place called Italy. French Safari. First of all, silence the son of the king. Listen! We need to move on now, while we still can. Our history does not chronicle the stories of those who just sit there and watch to go down. Our time is we are not here to make history. Hold your position, I am coming for you. Do not go for that. Repeat, do not go for it. Got it! I got it!
Oh, the piece that she missed in the first one. And also the piece that Killmonger gets in the movie.
Oh,
the,
yeah.
The one they put on the sheet, so making that the 5th episode of the show.
Director Lord, the first warlord to ever recover one of Wakanda's missing artifacts. Perhaps you should be more focused on the present, my prince, if you actually want to make it back to Wakanda.
Prince.
It's refreshing when things fit just right, like your auto insurance.
I'm John. I wanted to quit smoking for years. I tried several different times. Nothing seemed to work for me. But I didn't give up. Eventually, I found the right doctor. And together we came up with a plan. It finally worked. I used 2 quit smoking medicines and getting counseling.
My tip is, keep trying. You only have to quit for good once.
You can quit. For free help, text quit now to 333-888.
Hey, it's your skin. CeraVe, developed by dermatologists, cleanses and removes excess oil with niacinamide and 3 essential ceramides. CeraVe prevents disruption of my barrier. CeraVe foam and cleanser.
And now introducing new CeraVe Anti-Dandruff Hair Care.
Watching pieces. The last man. If you
Progressor presents
Prince Tapari.
First of all, silence the son of the king called Stephen. Listen! We need to move on now, while we still can. Our history does not connect with the stories of those who just sit back and watch to come down. Our time. We are not here to make history. Hold your position, I am coming for you. Do not go for that back. Repeat, do not go for I got it! I got it! It should be located in the storage house, right through the west part of the islands. Your parents only said you were upset. Yes, I As you see, the very ones are from a place called Italy. Prince Tapari. First, listen. Now, while we still can.
I thought it was a real news thing.
We are not here to make history. Hold your position, I am coming for you. Do not go for that. Repeat, do not go for I got it! I got it!
Oh, the piece that she missed in the first one, and also the piece that Killmonger gets in the movie.
Oh,
the
yeah.
one they put on the sheet, so making that the 5th episode of the show.
Director Lord, the first word that you ever recommend is if you actually want to make it back to Wakanda.
Prince.
Watching pieces. The last man.
A field agent follows protocols. Enough with the lectures, Kuda. I want to ride with the legendary Kuda. Silence the son of the king called Stephen. Listen! We need to move on now, while we still can. Our history does not chronicle the stories of those who just sit back and watch to come down. Our time. We are not here to make history. Hold your position, I am coming for you. Do not go for that. Repeat, do not go for I got it! I got it!
Oh, the piece that she missed in the first one, and also the piece that Killmonger gets in the movie.
Oh,
the
yeah.
one they put on the sheet, so making that the 5th episode of the show.
Director Lord.
Whoa, making it a what?
Killmonger gets in the movie.
Oh,
the
yeah.
one they put on the sheet, so making that the 5th episode of the show.
Oh, type shit. Okay. I get.
Oh,
the
yeah.
one they put on the sheet, so making that the 5th episode of the show.
Director Lord, the first word that you ever recover one of Wakanda's missing artifacts. Perhaps you should be more focused on the present, my prince, if you actually want to make it back to Wakanda.
Prince. Watching pieces. The last man.
A field agent follows protocols. Enough with the lectures, Kuda. I want to ride with the legendary Kuda of the mining tribe, the agent who slayed the pirate Ben Keys. But whoever this is, what happened to him?
Oh god.
Wreck of a good dog is meant to be invisible, my prince. The mission is what matters.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, that's what I thought was future tech from the intro, but it's still futuristic and from the 1900s.
Wakanda's been futuristic.
That's what I mean, like that looks like a future image, but it's only because comparatively.
My eldest brother is destined for the throne, and I am not destined for anything. foot.
My purpose.
If I join the War Dogs, or find a way to write myself into Wakanda's story.
Felt like that mattered.
It's hard to believe I will do that chasing things like this. And X is not exactly the pinnacle of technology, even by the outsider's standard. This is not even its original handler.
The Blade. The outsiders are already killing themselves with their own weapons. Imagine what they would do with ours.
Hey!
We must go out.
Oh. Center for the Black Panther.
Whoa. Whoa. It's more like a predator than a black
Yeah,
panther.
very offensive.
What is that? Whatever you are, we have no quarrel with you.
Looks like the Prowler and Predator had a baby.
Totally.
Stop, or you will be stopped.
The hell are you? Oh, that sound. What is
Yeah, that's
that?
cool.
Somebody! Take the axe! Run south!
Break that mask. Break that mask.
That's what it's there for, man. You know this.
Oh, man, you gotta step up. This is how you matter.
Yeah, there you go.
Nice. Remind me of the
Captain
Civil
America,
War.
Iron Man, yep.
Yep.
You're Wakanda.
Now they're trying to take Thanos' level.
I know everything of President Osiris, and I have never seen this woman before.
The fate of our home hangs in the balance.
You are not from our home.
Of the future.
I was kind of right.
Ooh.
Just open your eyes.
Oh, so that's why she's the last Panther. It's the end of Wakanda. She's trying to save her homeland by going to the past.
500 years from now.
Wasteland. What in Wakanda?
In my time, it is just a graveyard.
Well,
Pumpkins. Behold, the king from the edge of the gates, and blotted out their son with their numbers.
Boy, if nobody got my fucking back, it's gonna be my sister on my fucking mama's side. No disrespect, no disrespect, no disrespect, no disrespect, but I'm not trying to point fingers and make assumptions. So let me shut my fucking mouth. I'm missing some shit. Even though I saw this episode already. I still like to see it again because this is a good ass fucking episode.
I was kind of right. Yeah, there you go.
Nice.
Mm.
That sound. What is
Yeah, that's
that?
cool.
Somebody!
Oh. Center for the Black Panther.
Might be. Whoa. Whoa. It's more like a predator than a black
Yeah,
panther.
very offensive.
What is that? Whatever you are, we have no quarrel with you.
Looks like the Prowler and Predator had a baby.
Totally.
Stop, or you will be stopped.
The hell are you? Oh, that sound. What is
That's cool.
Somebody! Take the axe! Runs out!
Break that mask. Break that mask.
That's what it's there for, man. You know this.
Oh, man, you gotta step up. This is how you matter.
Yeah, there you go.
Nice. Remind me of the
Captain
Civil War.
America, Iron Man, yep.
Hey, bruh, let me say this. Like, since entering this community as a Marvel fan or whatever, I like to experience shit just to turn out to be thinking the same way as another person is thinking about the same shit that I'm talking about. You feel me? Like, cause I instantly thought about this shit. Like the way it was framing that shot for a little minute, it was jumping to do Black Panther for a second, but then they switched it up. It was like, it's too similar. You feel me? But nah, I really thought it was like, yep, this is Cap, this is Bucky, and the new Panthers, and the last Panthers Iron Man. Like, yeah, just going in. Like, it's just the way it was framed. Like, I don't know, it was like a certain type of zoom, or just the framing of it. Like, I don't know, but it gave Civil War. It gave Civil War. You feel me? So like the fact that other people be thinking that way, I like that shit. Real talk. Like, I don't think I really had that type of connection with people before I got into Marvel. Not for real. Like, yeah, real shit. Cause cause I can't even say I was different for liking the Migos, but everybody used to clown me for liking the Migos. But everybody started bumping the Migos. Niggas was clowning me for bumping Uzi, but now niggas bumping Uzi. You feel me? Like, it's different. It's different from music in actual pop culture. You feel me? Because not a lot of people gonna like your music and not even gonna give it a chance. But if you're a human and you haven't seen one Marvel movie in your life, what are you doing? Man, fuck that. If you haven't seen 5 Marvel movies in your life, what are you doing? It could be fucking Sony fucking Marvel movies. It don't have to be MCU. If you haven't seen 5 Marvel movies in your life and you don't understand references from other people's and shit, what are you doing? Seriously. Like, it's just like, it's something that I feel like people should already be onto. You feel me? Like, I've been saying, it seems like everybody's smoking now, you know, but like, this is different because you can actually relate to people's thoughts and feelings about this work or project instead of it being music. It's like visual, because niggas don't talk about music videos. Niggas don't talk about music videos. Nobody talk about music videos these days. It's always a song. Niggas will watch it, but is niggas really talking about it? You feel me? And niggas really put effort in their music videos. Not saying that it's worthless, but nobody talk about it. So it's like, for this to be recognized as something that can be watched upon from multiple people all around the world, they probably got aliens up there watching the MCU shit. Like, damn, man, I can't wait for brand new day to come out. Boy, you know Doomsday gonna be the shit. Like, beep boop bop bop, stupid ass. Like, yeah, I'm pretty sure. Like, even they up there talking about this shit. Like, that's, bro. And like, I watched Marvel movies back then. Weird shit. I watched Marvel movies back then. At that time, before I really got introduced to the MCU, my favorite movie was X2 or Spider-Man 3. Seriously. It was either X2 or Spider-Man 3. And everybody talk shit about Spider-Man 3. Man, that's the best Spider-Man movie, man. Besides 1, best Spider-Man movie, man. Fuck what you mean. Fuck what you mean, man. Real talk, bro. I will argue a nigga down. Just how that nigga Zephyr was talking about that shit. I'm with that nigga. I'm with that nigga 100%. Cause niggas talk so much shit about something that they don't really understand that it's accurate. You feel me? Like, it's crazy. It's crazy. It's crazy. But like, yeah. I'm glad that I really got something to really relate to. Instead of it being like music. Cause nobody really bumped the music that I fuck with. You feel me? And nobody's really talking about Marvel the way that I do, but when I be bringing it up, or if they see I be posting it, they want to talk about it. And that's all I want. I want somebody to talk about shit with. You feel me? You feel me? Like, bro, that's why I feel like, man. That's why I feel like, bro. I cried enough today. I'm not finna cry right now. Man, real talk. But nah, I'm glad that I have somebody to relate to this shit with, you know. That's why I watch reactors now. They are basically virtual friends. You know, they're not really co-responsive, so to speak, because they're pre-recorded. But it's like, you know, I'm crazy. Shut up. I'm crazy.
Man, you gotta step up. This is how you matter.
It was the zoom in.
Nice.
It was the zoom in, bro.
Reminded me of the
Captain America, Iron Man, yep.
Yep.
You are Wakanda.
Now they're trying to take Thanos' level.
I know everything operating in the service, and I have never seen this woman before.
The fate of our home hangs in the balance.
You are not from our home.
Off in the future.
I was kind of right.
Ooh.
Just open your eyes.
It's playing.
Oh, so that's why she's the last Panther. It's the end of Wakanda. She's trying to save her homeland. They go into the past.
500 years from now.
This must be Wakanda.
In my time, it is just a graveyard.
Well,
How did this happen?
Behold, they came from the edge of the galaxy and blotted out their sun with technology.
Ooh. What the hell is that? Giant space caterpillar? What the hell?
That's what I thought, because I was like looking at those circles in the blast that automatically reads cosmic.
Wakanda's laws dictate that we cannot help outsiders, and when the Horde sets their sights on us, even we were not powerful enough to resist. We were all that remained of our home, a handful of Dora Milaje, our general, and me, the Queen of Wakanda, blessed Black Panther. We were stranded, but we were also surrounded by the remains of Wakandan technology, including my quantum scanner. It was used to study history. Now,
Artifacts may access different points.
even more like that Steve Rogers idea of quantum
Type shit.
traveling for the stone.
And that's crazy. I didn't think about it like that. I see, it's the connection. But nah, I didn't think about it like that. Why they would do this, but they won't just do an animated series or just a special presentation of Steve Rogers returning the stones? That would be so fucking cool. It don't have to be live action. Niggas want it to be live action, but it don't have to be live action. Like, That would be so fucking cool. I'm surprised they really didn't do that shit yet, man. It's been 4 years. No, 5 years. Wait, 6 years. God damn, man.
Even more like that Super Hunter's idea of quantum traveling for the stones.
Yeah.
Is a link in a chain of events.
Mind, mass.
We set out to find a link that led to our doomed future and break it.
What might that
Eventually, we found it.
It's a cool way to retroactively make that axe have a lot of importance.
be? Yeah.
A perfect hinge point that, if restored, could set everything right.
Right, like it's a cool way to make that even bigger deal.
When a forgotten son of Wakanda,
Oh!
that's it. It is his first step in a campaign.
Yeah, that was a cool connection, bro. They did that shit.
It sets off a chain reaction that opens the right of King's eyes to the outside world.
Without the axe, it doesn't happen.
We have little time left. Atwa is already falling, and when it does, the X must be exactly where it was found. Once the X is returned, my plan will realign with this one.
The opposing missions ideas from multiple episodes.
My time jump here nearly killed me. The heart-shaped hell allowed me to survive, but I will not be able to endure another one.
I still got more of that?
There's still more of that. Hey! Oh, when she said that bitch too, she didn't say artificial. Blaho! Blaho!
But I will not be able to endure another one.
I still got more of that?
There was some other way to prove it to us. You say what from the future? Ah, yes.
That lands them somewhere else.
No! Not now!
Oh.
No, no. Do not tell the council what we have seen.
Oh.
Have a backbone guy.
A suicide mission, Tabari. They always said their mission about protecting the people of Wakanda today to ensure the future of the people tomorrow. You are right, my friends. This is our mission now. Oh, thank Bast.
Also like the justification from the first episode. The loyal one going against the crown versus the rebellious one submitting to the crown.
Pull whatever power you can. I don't care if it's the last ounce we have. How did they find us?
They must have touched the power draw.
So if I'm timing out correctly, that's a little over year 2300.
Yeah, so not too far in the future.
I'm surprised it took till 2300 for them to get time travel. For as advanced as they are.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was fucked up. They was snatched them bitches up.
Very.
Hurry! We're closing in. Only 100 meters to go. No!
Wow.
We cannot let the court invade their time. It is in our ancestors' hands now.
Just behind that tower. Let's go then. Not bad for a royal prince, eh?
Apparently, OG's making it. I think Unk's about to bite it. Oh!
Yeah.
No! Out! Just hold on!
It's not happening, bro.
It's not happening, bro.
No! Kuga! There is no time.
He's no up.
None of my leads had died in that man.
This is what it means to be a warlord. This is the price we pay. Complete submission.
Gloves, take the common text, but we can't find that text.
spiked it. They got me.
Yep. I will say I like it for the sake of tension, the cutting back and forth. The lost part of my brains, I'm like, I don't know how time travel works. Okay.
Rules.
Yeah, right. But it's done. You fixed it, probably.
Probably.
Or not. Oh God! Ooh, hated that for you. Imagine had he done it, they would have ceased to. That feature would have ceased to exist. But I'm happy, you know.
Oh, and he
He
lives.
lives.
Back, we got him out.
I can tell you what to get.
Did.
Not dead, my prince.
Yay.
Not dead.
What?
No. If any of this was worth it.
Well, guess he won't.
Trust in the future.
Yeah. Good for a vision.
Abandoning the mission was my call. Although Kuda is the senior agent, I am the prince. I pulled rank.
Huh.
I know how much I wanted to submit to business. And now you have actually saved it. That means no one will ever know.
Yeah, that's true.
It is the mission that is important, Kuda, not the story that is told about it.
Dark.
I just wish I could see this future before it formed.
Ah.
Know how long it will take to come to pass.
Nice. Yeah, very good.
They had to clap it up.
Substantially more than the first two.
Agreed. Yeah. My immediate ranking would go. If we're going least to favorite, would go. Yeah. 1 least, 2, 4, 3.
Yeah, I think I'm the same. Yeah, I was thinking 4, 3, 2, 1 were my best at least. Sorry, 3.
Did it, guys.
We did it! A whole season.
Whole season of TV. That is it, guys.
I'm gonna watch
Finished
this.
Watching 4 episodes of The Eyes.
Just because I was watching this earlier
This on
and
Apple,
it's been
Spotify.
released 14 hours ago.
Alien Earth is certified fresh, riveting, captivating, and remarkable. Don't miss FX's Alien Earth. Premieres August 12th on FX and Hulu.
At Grand Canyon University, we believe in equal opportunity, and the American dream starts with it.
Before we get started,
Does anybody want to get out?
I want to get out.
Gangster. Give you niggas a chance.
Hey, welcome back to Screen Crush. I'm Ryan Airy, and this is all of the Easter eggs, references, and little things you might have missed in Captain America: The Winter Soldier. Guys, we went deep for this breakdown, reading books, watching interviews, going over the movie a million times frame by frame, and we are insanely proud of this video. Before we break down the movie, though, I do want to talk about the origins of this film and the films that inspired the filmmakers. So the theme of Winter Soldier is freedom versus fear, as embodied by the leads in this movie, Steve Rogers and Bucky Barnes. For decades, the government used Steve as a symbol of freedom, while it was secretly using the Winter Soldier as an instrument of fear. But the title, The Winter Soldier, is actually misleading. It seems like it's about Bucky. After all, he was created in a Siberian prison and put back on ice over the decades. But go back to the original quote by Thomas Paine, who was writing about the hardships of the soldiers who fought in the Revolutionary War. These are the times that try men's souls. The summer soldier and the sunshine patriot will, in this crisis, shrink from the service of their country. But he, the Winter Soldier that stands by it now, deserves the love and the thanks of man and woman. So, thematically, Steve Rogers is actually the Winter Soldier because he always fights in the darkest of times. He stands by his friends even when they turn out to be brainwashed assassins. Now the story is based on the Winter Soldier Captain America arc by Ed Brubaker and Steve Epstein.
Put it on the list.
Now I should note that for years there was this unofficial rule that only two characters were able to stay dead, Uncle Ben and Bucky. See, Bucky was Steve's teen sidekick in the 1940s, but when Jack Kirby and Stan Lee brought Steve back in the 1960s, it was revealed that Bucky died on his final mission. So for decades, it was always thought that Steve Rogers was a better character if he always felt this remorse and guilt over Bucky's death. So in the book, The Reign of Marvel Studios, co-director Joe Russo said, what Ed Brubaker did was so brilliant. He completely deconstructed the mythology and made him very relevant. And by putting him in an espionage genre, he married it to a genre that could support the character and make the character more interesting. Today, Joe and Anthony Russo are considered superhero royalty after directing Winter Soldier, Civil War, Infinity War, and Endgame. But when they were hired, they seemed like an oddball choice. The two were famously known for directing sitcoms. For instance, 14 episodes of Arrested Development and a staggering 34 episodes of Community, including the epic Paintball two-parter, A Fist of Paintballs, and For a Few Paintballs More.
I'm out.
I'm out.
Now, Kevin Feige was a big fan of those two episodes, and he hired the Russos based on how well they executed the action scenes. And it turned out that TV directors are a perfect fit for the Marvel Studios system. The Russos already knew how to work within a larger system, where Kevin Feige served as a kind of showrunner of Marvel Studios. Now, Feige and producer Nate Moore told the writers, Christopher Marcus and Stephen McFeely, that they wanted the movie to feel like a 1970s conspiracy thriller. What's that? So, in the 1970s, this was a very popular genre. After Watergate and the Vietnam War, people felt like they couldn't trust their government. So, many films reflected this distrust by having one lone hero expose a corrupt conspiracy within the system. So Marcus and McFeely took direct inspiration from films like Marathon Man, where Dustin Hoffman gets wrapped up in a mystery with a Nazi war criminal. In fact, when the Russos met with their editor, Jeff Ford, Ford asked them to name a couple of movies that inspired them so he could get a sense of the stylistics of the film. And the Russos said that, one of the movies they were thinking about is the Francis Ford Coppola classic, The Conversation. So Jeff Ford immediately replied, "You don't have to name any others. I'm in. We're good. Let's get some drinks." What's The Conversation? So it's about a man named Harry Cole. On, he gradually becomes more paranoid that he is actually the one being watched. Now you can see the influence of The Conversation, for instance, in the Winter Soldier elevator scene. Except in the Winter Soldier, tension ratchets up as people enter the elevator, and in The Conversation it becomes more tense as Call is left alone with the woman he is spying on. Now throughout this video we are going to talk about the litany of films that influenced the Winter Soldier, but the key influence on the film was Sidney Pollack's 3 Days of the Condor. Marcus and McFeely mapped the entire plot of Winter Soldier so closely to that film that they actually nicknamed their early draft 3 Days of Captain America. So I'm going to go through all of these similarities now, or else I'll just keep referencing them throughout the video. The movies are about a good-hearted man working for an intelligence agency whose friends are gunned down by a clandestine group operating within the government.
Maybe there's another CIA. Inside the CIA.
The new Hydra group, a beautiful parasite inside shield.
The hero goes on the run and gets the help of a stranger. In fact, the Faye Dunaway character's role was split between the Black Widow and Sam Wilson in The Winter Soldier. Now this accomplice helps the hero kidnap a government operative. The hero is also being pursued by a ruthless assassin. There's a tense elevator scene, there's some gritty hand-to-hand combat, and a scene where they play a stereo loud to drown out any potential microphones listening into their conversation. Cliff Robertson, who plays Uncle Ben, by the way, also plays a boss who reports to a council and...
Oh, that is him crazy. That nigga looks so different. Hey, that's... He don't even look young. Well, he look old young type shit. Like, that's crazy. That's crazy.
Cliff Robertson, who plays Uncle Ben, by the way, also plays a boss who reports to a council, and there are even matching shots of him and Alexander Pierce looking out of skyscraper windows. Now, the scene where the Winter Soldier is waiting on Pierce is also...
Hey, why did this take so long?
The final villain in 3 days.
Get off the
and
road.
both movies end with the heroes going public with government secrets.
Hydra was selling you lies, not intelligence.
What did you do? I told him a story.
But according to the rated Marvel Studios, Marcus and McFeely struggled with this ending because, unlike a paranoid conspiracy thriller, a superhero movie needs to end on an upbeat note. And then, in the summer of 2011, they had the idea and they came to Kevin Feige and said, I think we're ready to take down S.H.I.E.L.D. So, let's dive into this movie. Now, originally, the screenplay's opening scene was going to be set in World War II, with Cap and the Howling Commandos being pinned down in a trench, and Steve leading the charge against a big Hydra gun. This would have reminded the audience of Steve's relationship with Bucky and would have ended with Steve waking up from a dream, just like these Bucky flashbacks in the original Winter Soldier comics. This also plays into Cap's Rip Van Winkle aesthetic that I'm going to talk about later in the video. So this sequence was storyboarded and ultimately cut because that Smithsonian sequence serves the same purpose. Kevin Feige said, we realized the best thing for the movie would be just to throw the audience into the modern world with Cap. Now, as we watch this movie together, keep in mind... I'm
trying to think how that bitch actually started. Oh yeah, that bitch started with him running around in Washington with Sam Wilson. I mean, that's a way to, you know, yeah, like throw him into the modern day. But that sequence didn't need to really be long. They could have had it in a certain way. I see why. I see why. Because it's gonna be weird just to go from that scene to the running scene, unless they were just gonna start it off from the boat heist. You feel me? And that would have been weird because that was a good little scene between Black Widow, Falcon, and Captain America.
So it plays into Cap's Rip Van Winkle aesthetic that I'm going to talk about later in the video. So this sequence was storyboarded and ultimately cut because that Smithsonian sequence serves the same purpose. Kevin Feige said, we realized the best thing for the movie would be just to throw the audience into the modern world with Cap. Now, as we watch this movie together, keep in mind the duality of its core. Freedom versus fear. S.H.I.E.L.D. versus Hydra. Captain America versus the Winter Soldier. This duality is going to appear again and again in the film. It's even present in the opening shot at dawn, where we see the world is half dark and half light. Now this is the Potomac River, which is also the setting for the climax of the film. And we also see the duality of government literally reflected in the water. The Washington Monument's reflection mirrors the surface, just like Hydra mirrors S.H.I.E.L.D. So these opening shots look simple, but they were actually really difficult to pull off. The National Park Service didn't want to allow the production to film around the pool. So locations manager James Lynn actually shot a mock-up sequence where he ran around the pool with a tripod to show the service how non-invasive they would be. And as you can see here, these shots were obtained by a Steadicam that was mounted on a glorified tricycle. So to make it seem like Steve is superhuman, Anthony Mackie had to jog along at a trot while Evans always sprinted. And this opening also established a key aspect of the film's visual language. Notice the little Steadicam shape. Almost every single shot in this movie is handheld. And here it gives the appearance of someone hidden, someone spying on them, just like the opening of Coppola's film.
Hey, shit! See, I didn't get that. I wasn't even thinking about that.
Better known as Fly on the Wall cinema, where documentary subjects are presented with very little editing. In this film, it makes us always feel like these events are grounded and happening in the real world, while also making us feel a little uneasy.
This movie's all handheld. It's a really interesting approach to a superhero movie. I don't think I've seen a superhero movie shot that way.
And this opening is one of two places in the movie where we hear Alan Silvestri's original theme from Captain America: First Avenger.
I need a new set of lungs. Dude.
Now this is because, at this point, Steve Rogers actually feels like his old self. His story is a retelling of Rip Van Winkle, the early Washington story about a man who slept through the American Revolution and then had to adapt to living in a different country. Steve's challenge in this movie is that he doesn't know his country any longer. And by extension, that means that Captain America doesn't know who he is or how he fits into this new world. Now, co-producer Nate Moore is largely the reason Falcon is in this movie. He was his favorite character when he was a kid. When he pitched the hero to Marcus and McFeely, they replied, why would we do the Falcon? He looks ridiculous. And frankly, they had a point. His 1970s outfit with the shirt open to the belly button has not aged well. And then Marcus and McFeely asked, do people like the Falcon? And Moore's reply gave us Sam Wilson in the MCU. He said, people love the Falcon.
People
So in
love
comics,
the
Steve
Falcon.
grew up in Harlem, and he was a social worker who just had an affinity for birds. But a run-in with the Red Skull, the Cosmic Cube, gave him the ability to communicate with his Falcon named Redwing. And after 4.5 years in the comics, he finally got vibranium wings from Wakanda that allowed him to fly. Now, he was so popular back in the 70s that the book was renamed Captain America and the Falcon for 7 years. And technically, he is Marvel's first African-American superhero because the Black Panther is African. He was also one of the rare heroes back then who didn't have black in his name.
Stupid ass.
Vibranium wings from Wakanda that
Really?
allowed him to fly. Now, he was so popular back in the 70s that the book was renamed Captain America and the Falcon for 7 years. And technically, he is Marvel's first African-American superhero because the Black Panther is African.
Okay,
He was
okay, yeah,
one of the
word.
rare heroes back then who didn't have black in his name. Now, when Anthony Mackie heard that he got the role, he broke down in tears because he knew that some little brown boy was going to come to his door at Halloween dressed as the Falcon. And he brought that joy onto set with him, as you can see in the BTS.
Cut the check.
And of course, Steve introduces himself by saying, which not only comes back later in the movie, and also in Avengers Endgame, but notice that when Sam does meet with old Steve, he approaches on his left, which is a great observation by the channel New Rockstars. So when they finally meet, Sam forms an immediate connection with Steve because he sees him as a soldier and not a celebrity.
It's your bed, right? Your bed is too soft. When I was over there asleep on the ground, you was rocking for pillows like a caveman.
And that idea is called back when we see Bucky still sleeping on the floor in Falcon the Winter Soldier. And Steve sees that Sam served because of his Air National Guard sweatshirt. Now, Sam makes it clear that he knows Steve is famous, but he mostly cares about him as a person and a veteran.
Anytime you want to stop by the VA and make me look awesome in front of the girl at the front desk, just let me know.
Now, after being thawed out, Steve is probably used to people always wanting something from him, but Sam is just somebody who wants to give and not take. And then we get to the famous notebook where Steve is writing down everything that he missed. And also, Bucky uses this notebook for his apology tour in Falcon the Winter Soldier.
Only Brawny has 3 plies, and it's stronger than
This is such a good franchise. I hate when people talk shit about Marvel after Endgame, post Endgame. Like,
These are the facts.
that's crazy. The fact that's a turn. Marvel post Endgame is a turn. Of course it's post Endgame because it's a whole different saga. It's not supposed to be the same. You can't say it's downgraded because it's completely different from previous projects. That's why I don't understand the hate most of the time. These niggas just be finding shit to talk about. The niggas just be going with it. Like, it's supposed to be cool. Like, that's crazy. They been dropping. They ain't been dropping the greatest shit, but they been dropping shit. Stop playing.
Now, the filmmakers famously swapped out different names for different countries.
We thought it was important to see Cap's notebook because it's a good way to deal with the idea that Steve Rogers is the man at the time.
And these alternates were actually chosen by internet polling.
It essentially amounted to an internet campaign where we asked people to weigh in on the different things they thought Steve would have in his notebook.
And this was the last wholesome thing to ever come out of the internet. In the UK, it lists the 1966 World Cup, the Beatles, Sherlock, and Sean Connery. In France, The Fifth Element by French director Luc Besson, Daft Punk, and the 1998 World Cup. Korea offers up Dance Dance Revolution. Italy has Roberto Benigni and his masterpiece, Life is Beautiful. Australia and New Zealand voted in Steve Irwin and the amazing cookie Tim Tams. Brazil has Zsa Zsa. Russia voted for Disco, and the communist Yuri Gagarin, the first man in space. Spain has tennis legend Rafael Nadal and the candy Chupa Chups. And Latin America has Shakira.
Like this, I love Shakira.
Darn right you do. Germany listed Oktoberfest and Currywurst, and in the USA, Steve missed out on I Love Lucy, The Fall of the Berlin Wall, Steve Jobs, and Disco.
Oh yeah, Disco, like on Russia's list.
Right, so the one person that could have ended the Cold War early was Disco Stu.
Stu doesn't end it.
But this short exchange between Sam and Steve is actually crucial for the rest of the movie. The last time we saw Steve Rogers, he was still very much a man out of time.
It's not that thing though, there's like a Stephen Hawking.
What you think, Elijah? What? No one in this personal fight.
I do. I understood that reference.
And The MCU is largely based on the Ultimate Comics, which is a more grounded relaunch of the Marvel characters. Ultimate Captain America is very old-fashioned. When his enemy tells him to surrender, he screams, "Do you think this A stands for France?" And when he dates Janet Van Dyne, she gets bored because he just wants to hang out with people who are in their 80s and go out to dance to 1940s music.
Ain't no way this nigga said that shit, bro. You think this A stands for French? What? What are you talking about, Steve?
I understood that reference.
And the MCU is largely based on the Ultimate Comics, which is a more grounded relaunch of the Marvel characters. Ultimate Captain America is very old-fashioned. When his enemy tells him to surrender, he screams, "Do you think this A..."
You think this letter on my head stands for France? That's a comic panel. I know you're lying. This is a comic panel. And he looks pissed saying that shit. Like he bleeding from his nose and everything. That bitch.
He stands for France.
That bitch really said that shit. Oh my god.
Which is a more grounded relaunch of the Marvel characters. Ultimate Captain America is very old-fashioned. When his enemy tells him to surrender, he screams, "Do you think this A..."
You think this... You think this letter on my head stands for France? Oh my god. Oh my god. I will never forget that. Oh my god. You think this letter on my head stands for France, bitch? Bitch.
He stands for France. And when he dates Janet Van Dyne, she gets bored with him because he just wants to hang out with people who are in their 80s and go to dance halls to dance to 1940s music.
Huh.
We could have easily seen a movie with a more regressive Captain America, but instead, this scene establishes that Steve Rogers is catching up to the modern day.
Things aren't so bad. Food's a lot better. We used to boil everything. No polio's good. Internet, so well.
And this also establishes that Steve is always the optimist who sees the good in the world and in people. But Sam's #1 recommendation is
Marvin Gaye, 1972, Trouble Man soundtrack.
an album which you'll remember Zemo also extolled the virtues of.
This masterpiece, James, complete, romance, captures the African-American experience.
He's out of line.
He's out of line. But he's right.
Randomly. The movie is about a private detective named T who goes on the run from a crime boss and police after he's framed for murder. Very similar to what Steve goes through in this movie. And Zemo is right. This soundtrack is a banger.
Yeah, we should do a video. Zemo was right, but like about Trouble Man.
That's a great idea. High five. And then Steve gets a text from Natasha, and notice how Shield phones even have their logo branding on the wallpaper.
It's announcing your identity on clothing up in the covert part of your job.
Notice how she tells him to meet at the curb, showing that she knows where he is, hinting at the surveillance state plot that's to come. And then she includes a smiley face.
I don't want you to know where the Smithsonian is. I'm going to pick up a fossil.
Natasha teases Steve like this all through the movie to keep him from taking himself too seriously. So this is to help him acclimate to the 21st century, and it works. Later, he even makes his own joke.
Did you do anything fun Saturday night?
Well, all the guys from my barbershop quartet are dead, so no.
It's like Fury assigned her to Steve for this reason, to make sure he didn't think too hard about all the people he had lost. Her license plate reads 1IR31I, and this might be a reference to the Soviet-era ham radio R311, also known as Omega, as a callback to Natasha being Russian. And now, let's get to the boat sequence. Now, there is a lot to break down here. First of all, there's actually a mistake here. In the longitude and latitude numbers, 2 of them are listed for the north. The second number should be 72E, which would place them just off the coast of India, which makes sense because later the Indian representative of the World Security Council says, Considering this attack took place 1 mile from my country's sovereign waters, it's a bit more than that. The name of the ship is the Lemurian Star, a reference to Marvel's undersea kingdom of Lemuria, which is a rival to Atlantis in the comics. Now, they actually did film this on a real boat, the Sea Launch Commander, and just like in the movie, the ship launches satellites. In fact, this ship is largely responsible for the plot of the movie. When they were scouting a different ship, the filmmakers learned that it was large enough to launch satellites, and then this gave them the idea of government surveillance and drone strikes being the center of the movie. You gotta remember, this movie was written just after Edward Snowden leaked NSA documents that revealed that government surveillance programs were watching us from space. We meet Frank Grillo as Brock Rumlow, who in the comics is the supervillain Crossbones. He's a mercenary who's more of a physical threat to Captain America, and I love how, in this movie, they reinvented him as a foot soldier for Hydra. He even has a grudging respect for Captain America all through the movie. Like, they may be on different sides of the war, but he recognizes that at least they're both soldiers. Their mission is to stop the pirates who took over the ship. But later in the movie, it's revealed that Fury actually hired the pirates to give Black Widow an excuse to download Project Insight from the ship's computer.
Oh, so that was true. I'm thinking that they were just saying that just to make him look like a villain. Okay.
Grillo as Brock Rumlow, in the comics is the supervillain Crossbones. He's a mercenary who's more of a physical threat to Captain America. And I love how, in this movie, they reinvented him as a foot soldier for Hydra. He even has a grudging respect for Captain America all through the movie. Like, they may be on different sides of the war, but he recognizes that at least they're both soldiers. Their mission is to stop the pirates who took over the ship. But later in the movie, it's revealed that Fury actually hired the pirates to give Black Widow an excuse to download Project Insight from the ship's computer. Even this early in the movie, Fury was already suspicious of Project Insight. When Rumlow runs through the hostages, we see Jasper Sitwell. Now, in the comics, Sitwell is kind of a nerdy S.H.I.E.L.D. agent, more of a numbers guy. He first appeared in the MCU in the short called The Consultant, where Agent Coulson explained why they sent Tony Stark to pick a fight with Thunderbolt Ross at the end of The Incredible Hulk.
Here you have an unusual problem. You should talk. You should listen.
He later appeared in the show Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., and frankly, it was a genuine shock when he turned out to be Hydra. The screen also says he is Honduran American, just like the actor Maximiliano Hernandez. And then we see Batroc the Leaper, who is like a Z-list Captain America villain from the comics. Now, he's a good fighter, but he's mostly known for speaking with an over-the-top French accent. Ah, now it is Batroc's turn.
I'm French. Why do you think I have this outrageous accent, you silly king?
But for the movie, the character definitely isn't a joke. He is played by UFC champion George St. Pierre.
He tried to put together a fight that played to George St. Pierre's strengths. An honor getting beat up by Captain America.
Now, according to the book, The Reign of Marvel Studios, the Russos constructed every action sequence with a portfolio of visual references. And to show the frenetic pace of the boat fight, they used clips from The Bourne Identity and MMA fights, particularly how fast MMA fighters punch. And this is how they discovered St. Pierre and cast him in this role. And remember, he later returns at Falcon the Winter Soldier. They went through several designs for his costume, but landed on one that included comic-accurate colors. But they were able to still keep the grounded tone of the movie. The sequence is also when we were introduced to Steve's new uniform based on the design from the comics when he was director of S.H.I.E.L.D. Notice that now you can see his ears, just like in the comics. And it actually took them a while to get the design just right without looking silly. Now, his suit is designed for stealth, and the muted colors also play into the color palette of the movie. As you can see in this image created by Movie Palette, the movie has a very dark color tone until a key moment at the end that we're going to talk about later. Now, at the beginning, both his uniform and shield.
Wait, that was so hold on, whoa. So that was
and actually took
that
them
is
a while.
weird. Who the fuck? That's crazy.
It's designed just right without looking silly. Now, his suit is designed for stealth, and the muted colors also play into the color palette of the movie. As you can see in this image, created by Movie Palette, the movie has a very dark color tone until a key moment at the end that we're going to talk about later. Now,
I looked it up.
His uniform and shield are more gray to reflect how he now lives in a morally gray world. Notice Steve and Natasha both have shield logos on their arm, but in Age of Ultron, Steve replaces his with an Avengers logo. And this carries on his main character's motivation from Captain America the First. Notice Steve and Natasha both have SHIELD logos on their arm, but in Age of Ultron, Steve replaces his with an Avengers logo. And this carries on his main character's motivation from Captain America the First Avenger. He wants to join a team and belong. And notice that his new suit does still have the stripes on his abs, they're just much darker colors. And then we see that they are in a Quinjet, the plane that the Avengers used in the comics that we saw SHIELD use in the Avengers film. And then we see the plane go into a quiet hover mode, but it does not have the stealth capability that Tony Stark had in the Avengers Quinjet in Age of Ultron.
We can't track him stealthily.
Steve continues the Marvel hero tradition of a superhero jumping out of the back of a plane.
We'll read this later. Hold on.
Seriously, they do that a lot, but the reason he goes in without a parachute is so he doesn't get spotted and he can hit the water at maximum speed. The opening boat sequence is also key for catching us on how Captain America fights and how he's changed since coming out of the ice. The stripes on his abs.
Wow, watching this shit this morning, boy.
And then we see that they are in a Quinjet.
What, this
the
afternoon?
Avengers used in the comics that we saw SHIELD use in the Avengers film. And then we see the plane go into a quiet hover mode, but it does not have the stealth capability that Tony Stark had into the Avengers Quinjet in Age of Ultron.
We can't track him stealthily.
Steve continues the Marvel hero tradition of a superhero jumping out of the back of a plane. Seriously, they do that a lot, but the reason he goes in without a parachute is so he doesn't get spotted and he can hit the water at maximum speed. The opening boat sequence is also key for catching us on how Captain America fights and how he's changed since coming out of the ice. Now, his fighting in the Avengers was pretty basic, but in this movie, we get to see how he has evolved.
We wanted to come out of the gates full force because we knew we were bringing a fresh version of Cap to people in this movie because of the fact he's evolved since audiences have seen him last.
But the sequence is also setting the tone for the grounded action we see in the rest of the film.
We're telling the audiences in the 2 years since the Avengers, he's done all this training. So when you drop him on that boat, we're catching you up to speed on how he fights now, that it's real world.
The Russo's guiding principle was, what would a superhero actually do to people in the real world?
He's gonna, what we call knockout shots. Right? Every guy, when he leaves that guy's gotta be out, because if that guy gets up and pulls an alarm, everything's over. So you'll notice that, every guy he approaches is either thrown overboard or completely knocked out before he moves on to the next guy.
So the wire work in this fight is just used to augment a normal human's ability to jump, to show that Steve is just a little bit above everyone else. Also notice that when Steve jumps, you can hear the vibranium shield moving with each leap. Now they did film on a real ship that was docked, and then they kept all the cameras on one side, so they were always filming out to sea. And I want to point out some cool moments here in this fight. Steve speeds through the ship, takes a guy overboard, and then takes a knife off this guy and throws it at this guard's hand before he can ring the alarm. And then when he throws the shield, he beats this guy up and then perfectly times his catch. But we also see him use his shield in more inventive ways, like when he puts the shield in front of this guy and then punches him through the shield. Also notice how the camera moves with every punch. It's not the same like fast-cutting style as the Bourne movies, but the camera does work with the action to enhance each punch and give it a fast-cut feel. This is actually the way they film professional wrestling. After Natasha lands, she suggests,
What about the nurse that lives across the hall from you? She seems kind of nice.
making me think that she definitely knew that Sharon was a SHIELD plant. The sequence was also inspired by James Bond movies, like when we see Steve fire a high-tech listening device in the glass to overhear backdrop reveal where the hostages are. Sets up Natasha for her fight, where she wraps her grappling hook around this guy's neck and then uses him as a counterweight to drop into the bows of the ship. And this actually was Scarlett Johansson who dropped 3 stories by the stunt team.
Yeah, there was about 3 stories on the side of the ship with steel all around. We dropped her down about 30 or 40 feet wide.
Little detail here, she's blinded by this body when she shoots these guys. So she still checks afterwards to make sure they're dead. I should note that the kick and flip off of the rail is her stunt double, Heidi Moneymaker, who doubled for her from Iron Man 2 all the way through Black Widow. Natasha is able to beat these guys up who are bigger than her by using their own body weight against them. Many of those moves were developed by Moneymaker.
Versatile, and every time I come onto the movie, I go with the flow, and then I start trying to put in really widowy, kind of flippy, twisty, usually very type fun moves so that she still had that flair to her.
And the design team redesigned Natasha's bracelets for the movie and added a choker wire, which we see her use in MCU films after this point. And while this is happening, the rest of the team is rappelling down the side of the ship to burst inside. And this is all while Steve is simplicity of a backdrop. And this is an important story beat. They didn't want Steve to just run into the ship and beat everybody up. The movie has to establish that Black Widow is also a formidable fighter, but they also want to show the future Hydra agents in action, so they will be a credible threat to Steve later in the movie. One of my favorite moments of the fight is right after the hostages are rescued. The focus is on Batroc, and then Steve emerges out of focus in the background.
Yeah, that was fire.
Slow it down, you can see that Batroc barely notices in time what he does. I actually prefer this to how the storyboard, with a shot of Steve leaping toward the window and throwing his shield. The edit is much faster, more unexpected, and propels us into the Batroc fight. The fight kicks off with Batroc's signature leaping kick, and because he catches Captain America off guard, we now understand this coming as a credible boss fight. Now, what is really impressive, though, is that Chris Evans did about 95% of the stunt work in this fight, except for that windmill kick here at the end. The choreography of the fight was designed around Schwarzenegger Theater to showcase his skills as an MMA fighter. Steve was able to fend off Batroc's moves mostly by using his shield, then goads him in French. Actually, what he says is, I thought you were going to use the shield. And Steve understands him because he also speaks French from his time in World War II. He says, challenge accepted. But this also speaks to Steve's arc in the movie. He begins the film serving this country. He identifies himself as a servant of the state, and the shield is a symbol of his country. So Steve's arc in this movie is to realize that he is more than a shield, to embrace his own humanity. Even without the shield, he takes down Batroc easily, and they tumble into the server room where Widow is retrieving Project Insight for Fury. Now, this movie plays with this dynamic for the first half of the film. We're really not sure if we can trust Natasha or not. She is Russian, she could be a double agent, and this sets up her greater arc that we're going to talk about later in the video. And then this hood throws a grenade. So Steve grabs Natasha because he knows he can get them out of the room faster than she can by herself, and shout out to Canadian Lad for noticing this little detail. She shoots the window to weaken the glass first, so they're able to burst through it more easily. And then we go to Washington, D.C. to the new building, the Triskelion. Now, this building first appeared in the Ultimates comics, where it's the headquarters for S.H.I.E.L.D. and that universe's Avengers. It actually breaks a rule in Washington, D.C. that no building can be taller than the Washington Monument. They designed the building to be large and sprawling, basically overtaking Theodore Roosevelt Island. This is a metaphor for Project Insight sprawling and overtaking people's personal liberties. Concept artist James Carson designed the Triskelion to mimic the brutalist architecture that dominated Eastern Europe during the Cold War, further hinting that S.H.I.E.L.D. was actually run by an organization that wanted to create a totalitarian state. Now, the lobby of S.H.I.E.L.D. headquarters is similar to the lobby of the S.H.I.E.L.D. Academy that we saw in the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. episode Seeds, and when Blake was looking at the wall of fallen S.H.I.E.L.D. heroes, she even mentions. And it's also similar to the headquarters for SWORD that we saw in WandaVision. That agency basically replaced S.H.I.E.L.D. and both organizations feature a statue of their logo in the lobby. After Steve confronts him, Fury says, Captain Marvel is not true. His eye was scratched out by a space cat. But even then, in that movie, we see Fury building the legend of his lost eye. And, as we see, this was for a good reason. He had a backup ocular lock key to his damaged eye in case he was ever locked out of the system. And then we go to this elevator conversation, which continues the movie's recurrence of elevators using to hide secrets. This is a brilliant dialogue scene that uses a story to play out the movie's theme, freedom versus fear. Steve begins by saying, so already Steve is remarking how, in the past, the world was more pleasant, and this prompts Fury to tell his story.
My grandfather operated in police service for 40 years, worked in a nice building, had good tips. Time went on,
and by the way, Samuel L. Jackson's granddad actually was an elevator operator. The world of the MCU of this movie is meant to mirror our own. I mean, we live in a national security state where people have sacrificed certain freedoms in order to feel more safe. But the Russos say in the audio commentary that Steve is removed from all of that because he lives in the Cold War 9/11. Now, when Nick Fury begins his story about his granddad, it starts in that nice world that Steve remembers. His granddad is able to walk home with his tip money and feel safe. But then the neighborhood gets rougher. Just like the world grew more dangerous in Steve's absence. And then Fury talks about how his granddad kept a gun in his lunch bag. And notice the background. As soon as he mentions the gun, this is the moment when they descend into the underground hangar to see Project Insight's gunship helicarriers. The symbolism here is that the carriers are the gun hidden at the bottom of the lunch bag. But also, the deeper you dig, the more you find hide buried secrets. The inside carriers are designed to eliminate threats before they happen. And it show said that we were all reading the articles that were coming out about the Russian drone strikes, preemptive strikes, and civil liberties. We wanted to put all of that into the film because it would be a contrast to Captain America's greatest generation way of thinking. Fury says the carriers fly with repulsor technology designed by Stark.
I got a few suggestions once he got an up close look at our old turbo.
And the close look he's referring to was this scene in the Avengers with he and Steve restarted the propellers together.
Seems to run on some form of electricity.
Repulsor technology allows the carriers to run continuously in the air. This is actually an old school Cold War nuclear deterrent. We actually still have nuclear bombs in the air at all times to this day. Now the satellites that guide the carriers are an invasion of privacy that's meant to symbolize the civil liberties compromised by the Patriot Act.
Satellites can read terrorist DNA. Since I'm ZeroSpider-Man.
But Steve sees this quantum surge and recognizes it as just one more bullet bomb.
We have everyone on Earth on protection. This isn't free. This is real.
And remember, bullies are the reason that Steve signed up for war to begin with. Fury calls Steve out for his hypocrisy.
No, I read those essays on the
Come on, look what I can do. Ta-da! Toast roast beef cheddar. One French bread. Speaking of toasted, they're brown, looking crispy. Toasted sandwiches at Jimmy John's. Oh, that's good. Old spicy chicken dressings, coconuts and contras. There's a reason Chevy's called the Purdue of America. With SUV.
Meet Hello Kitty and friends. Step inside a super cute Switch launch world. So many you can collect. So many. So fun to swish along. Look along wherever you go. You can create your own home adventure. Your favorite character.
Greatest generation. Masters and Masters will.
Mentioning the old SSR files is also foreshadowing the SSR headquarters we see later in the movie. But also, in the original Winter Soldier comic book run, Steve reveals that Bucky was always the guy that they would send behind enemy lines to do nasty work. We see hints of this in the first Avenger montage of Bucky snipes people, but you get the feeling that that montage really did cut out a lot of the nastier stuff that Bucky had to do in order to win the war. So after Steve sees how the world is changing, he immediately retreats into familiar things, riding his motorcycle and going to the Smithsonian to visit what's left of his old friends. Now they actually did film this intro in the Pioneers of Flight Gallery in the Aerospace Smithsonian Museum, and they were terrified that the camera on the crane would damage one of these planes. For instance, this is the Spirit of St. Louis that Charles Lindbergh flew across the Atlantic Ocean, and this plane was part of the USA's first mission to fly around the globe. On the very back is a Lockheed Vega, the plane that William Earhart tried to fly around the world, and this one is a Fokker T-2, the first plane to fly across the continental United States. This is the Wright brothers' first plane, which they built in Ohio, and it's just behind a replica of NASA's Pioneer 10, the first craft to go past Jupiter. The camera goes past NASA's X-15, which is the first plane to hit Mach 5, before finally descending to another relic, Captain America. This quote on the wall is from President Matthew Ellis, who was president in Iron Man 3, and also in the show Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. The film playing here is there to remind the audience about Steve's past in World War II, but also to show us that he is now regarded as a kind of living legend, and it's narrated by Lieutenant Dan himself, Gary Sinise.
A symbol to the nation.
Now, the before photo of Steve is the same one that Peggy has at the end of First Avenger, that we see later on her desk in Avengers Endgame. And the after picture is actually a BTS photo taken from this exact moment in First Avenger. The kids comparing themselves to Steve's height is a callback to the recruitment station in the first movie, where Steve wasn't able to measure up to the ideal height of a soldier. And now, this scene is showing us how Captain America has grown into more of an idea than a person. And Steve is wondering if he can actually live up to this ideal in this new jaded world. Now, the kid they're holding is also wearing a Captain America costume based off the design we saw him wear in the Avengers. The kid that sees Steve is actually one of the Russo brothers' nephews, Basil, and he was not fooled by the classic industry disguise of a baseball cap.
It's not a disguise, we look like ourselves in a baseball game.
And notice this other kid in the background, getting the Captain America. Quick salute. They actually filmed this scene in a real museum, and in the concept art of the movie, you can see they actually designed a shield fixture for the ceiling, but you can't really see it in any of the footage. In the background here, we see we saved over 160 lives arrives Kazanzu. That was his first mission in First Avenger. And this is a replica of his World War II bike with the Howard Stark modifications. Remember, the original bike exploded on his final mission. Now, this sequence serves two functions. It tells the audience information about the past, but it also shows us that Steve no longer knows who he is. He's watching his own life play out in front of him. And this shows how his story has continued on without him there. In a way, at this point, he's like Thor in the first Thor. Now, the Bucky display is there to remind us of his best friend, but it also has a mistake. The text here reads that he was born in 1916, and years below say he was born in 1917. Take that, Russo brothers. The stupid movie isn't so perfect after all. And the shot where Steve looks through the glass pane is a visual way to show us that Bucky is not only gone, but all that remains is a transparent, ghostly image of his friend. And remember that image for later on. The sequence also relives the events of the movie First Avenger that now they feel all of. For instance, he watches the film of himself, just like he did in Captain America First Avenger. But in that movie, the Israel is optimistic and hopeful, but now is revisiting a dead past. Notice how even the mannequins of the Howling Commandos don't have faces. They're more like ghosts than they are people. Now, in the film, Peggy mentions that Alright, when Steve returned at the end of Avengers Endgame, writers Marcus and McFeely said that they imagined Steve had lived through the events of the MCU, while the Russo brothers claimed that Steve lived in an alternate reality and then returned to his old reality to give Sam the shield. So, depending on who you believe, Peggy is either talking about Steve saving her husband or telling the truth. Steve holds the compass with her image, a symbol to show that Peggy is always his true north. And as he tells her later, he actually joined S.H.I.E.L.D. because she helped to found it. Now, the compass first appeared in newsreel footage in the last film. It was left on the deck of the Valkyrie as Steve crashed, and you see Steve looking at it again in Avengers Endgame. It foreshadowed that he will eventually choose to be with her by the end of the film. But in this film, looking at the compass is the reason he decides to visit Peggy. Now, Peggy being alive was actually revealed in a deleted scene in the Avengers when Steve was working up a nerve contact for her, but then got distracted.
It is 10:33, August 9, 2025.
Now, they didn't apply much makeup to Haley Atwell to make her look older. Instead, they employed a similar technique to how they made her Steve in the first Avengers. They used digital effects. Atwell, an older actor, performed the scene.
I want to hit the rest of this bitch, man, but
No. And there's also some subtle set dressing here. Notice the pill bottles by her bedside and the English tea set behind Steve. Peggy is filled with images. This also aligns with her dialogue.
You say the world, we rather want it out. The world has changed. The best that we can do is to start over.
And these words are crucial because they inspire Steve to later take down S.H.I.E.L.D.
Shield, Hydra. All goes.
But also, Steve later takes her advice and travels back in time to start over at the end of Endgame. And then, in a heartbreaking moment, we see the extent of her dementia.
Steve. Heroes die.
Now, this is a brutal reminder to Steve that he cannot return to the past. Just like a newsreel, returning to Peggy is just going to be the same story played over and over. And then he reminds her,
When I couldn't meet my best girl, now it's used me dance.
Now get up,
us
kids.
that they were supposed to have a dance at the end of First Avenger. This also sets us up for their final ending in Avengers Endgame. Back at Fury's office, he plugs in more Murray Star data that Natasha stole and then shut down the system. So, for the first time in the MCU, we see Nick Fury not in total control of the situation. Then he has to take an elevator up to the top floor, symbolically showing us that there is someone even higher than him at this organization. Alexander Pierce, played by screen legend Robert Redford. Now, Redford agreed to be in the movie because he wanted to be in a film that his grandkids would see, and his casting was a brilliant choice. For one, this film 3 Days to the Condor was the entire basis for this year's plot, but also Redford mostly spent his storied career playing heroes, so his turn as a Hydra asset is genuinely shocking. The Russo brothers compared this casting to Henry Fonda playing a brutal murderer in Once Upon a Time in the West. It's an American hero turned into a villain. Now, he's at a meeting of the World Security Council, the same group that Fury reported to the first Avengers movie. Now, back then, they were still mysterious silhouettes, like the Council of 13 and the Venture Brothers.
The Council of 13, not Magic Angel, baby. We don't have magic window. Pass.
Okay, I get it. But now the technology has advanced. They are holograms projected onto screens. Now we see this technology advance even further in Avengers Infinity War, when Ross and the rest of this council are just projected as images inside of a room. Only one member has returned from the Avengers, Pamela Hawley, but the most famous member of the original lineup was Gideon Mallett, played by Powers Booth. In the show Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., it was revealed that he too was a Hydra agent. And there's a couple of hints in this meeting of sacrificing individuals if it saves the entire world, just like the Project Insight carriers are planning to do. And this line,
maybe we need someone to oversee us,
is basically saying that he's ready to hand the world over to Zolta's output. After Fury raises his concerns, he name drops Iron Man, asking for a favor.
you better get Iron Man to stop it. He's smart. Not just clever. He's got me.
I wonder if Tony was doing this kind of favor when Peter Parker tried to reach him in Spider-Man Homecoming. Notice how Pierce's office, like Fury's, is painted in these very dull, gray, brutalist colors. This matches the color palette of the movie, even Cap's uniform, to show that we are now living in a mortally gray world. And then, this takes us to the warm environment of the VA, which is made of natural colors like yellow and orange lighting and brown wood paneling. The woman who talks about swerving from a plastic bag is Angela Russo Otsot, the sister of the Russo brothers. So we transition from two meetings. The World Security Council is concerned with big picture problems like wars, while this scene is showing us the real human consequences of those wars. And here we see what will become Sam's greatest superpower throughout his history in the MCU, his ability to empathize with others.
Some stuff you leave there, other stuff you bring back. It's our job to figure out how to carry.
And in Avengers Endgame, Steve leads a similar group, perhaps trying to carry on this kind of work after Sam was snapped away. He opens up to Steve about losing a friend in the war, which immediately endears them to each other.
How do you think about that? That's crazy.
And then Steve talks about how he doesn't actually know what makes him happy.
What makes you happy?
And this line is picked up again in his next movie, Age of Ultron, where the villain says,
God's righteous man, pretending you could live without war.
And then we go to one of the greatest action sequences in the MCU, Fury's car chase. It begins with Fury getting eyed by these three Hydra cops. And notice how the bad guys in this sequence are all either wearing SWAT helmets or sunglasses to hide their faces. This makes them appear more inhuman, like the big pilots in Top Gun or the agents in the Matrix movies. Notice his windshield is also a heads-up display, which is a technology that does finally exist today in luxury cars with a smart windshield.
Oh,
Then
really?
The cops pin him down, breaking his wrist immediately, which is why Fury injects himself with a local anesthetic. This is also why later in the movie he still has his arm in a sling. Now, the Russos said that they based this sequence on the bank heist in Michael Mann's Heat.
Experientially, this is still the most intense 8 minutes of filmmaking I've seen in 20 years in a movie theater. I repeat.
In that sequence, bank robbers are pinned down in a car, followed by a slow build-up when they're surrounded by police until a gunfight breaks out with automatic weapons. Both scenes are filmed handheld to place the viewer in the middle of the action. The Russos and Michael Mann also mounted cameras in cars, usually low to the ground to give the illusion of speed. And by the way, those shots are some of the few non-handheld shots in the entire movie. And in both movies, the police fire indiscriminately into crowds of civilians with their machine guns. Also, notice how the first bullet holes that hit the car windshield are from a POV shot, making us feel like we're the ones being shot at. And later, I especially love this POV shot where Fury runs from a guy, but we see it happen from inside of the car behind him. See, little details like this are what make this chase feel like it has stakes that involve real, actual people. In fact, they really did film this chase in downtown Cleveland, the Russo brothers' hometown, even mapping out parts of the chase by using Hot Wheels and chalk drawing. And the Penske truck that hits the Hydra agents at the end is the same truck that takes out Sitwell later in the movie. The Russo brothers even joked that this could be the Punisher, a lone wolf out there with his own vendetta. Now, they also based the beginning of this chase on a real car chase from Sao Paulo, Brazil in 2010, where a vehicle got stuck in traffic and just started bashing into the other cars. Fury's car is self-driving, just like Tony Stark's car in Age of Ultron. And notice the car says,
Flight systems damaged.
meaning that Fury has a flying car, just like Howard Stark tried to build in the first Avenger, and like Phil Coulson's car Lola in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Fury is also famous for driving flying cars in the comics. Now, when the Hydra agents bring in the battering ram, that's really Sam Jackson in the car getting knocked around. But the chase features a mix of practical and digital effects, like filming Sam Jackson on a green screen for the close-ups where he's leaning out of his window in this shot. Now, Fury lets them use the battering ram on the glass to weaken its integrity so he can shoot through it. In other words, he is using Hydra's weapons against them, just like how Hydra has secretly been using the weapons of S.H.I.E.L.D. to take control. And the console machine gun they built was an actual practical effect, built from real steel and not rubber.
That
It
was
cost
dope.
$65,000.
Small price to pay for salvation.
And then we get the first on-screen appearance of the Winter Soldier. Now I love how we first see him out of focus through bullet holes. It visually mirrors the pane of glass with Bucky's story from the museum, but now the glass is cracked and opaque because of all the gunfights and violence. Similar to how Bucky can no longer remember his past because of all of the years of violence and brainwashing. And then the camera slowly rack focuses to reveal the Winter Soldier, like he's a ghost who has just come from the shadows. He flips Fury's vehicle with the same detonator he used in the Thunderbolts. And of course he has this iconic theme.
With more baking soda than other brands, Arm & Hammer toothpaste is usually black and stained. The difference is Arm & Hammer.
At Grand Canyon University, we believe in equal opportunity, and the American dream starts with purpose. By honoring your...
Well, tickle everything, Sam. The big deal meals. Giant smash, top of grills, pickled seasoned toss, pickled...
And that theme is actually a scream that was remixed. Now, on IMDb trivia, there's a false rumor that they took Bucky's scream from First Avenger and remixed it. But actually, on comicbook.com, composer Henry Jackman gave an interview where he confirmed that this was actually his voice. He said, the Winter Soldier starts off unrelenting and brutal and mechanized and almost Terminator-like. But the difference between the Winter Soldier and the Terminator is that somewhere behind the wires and the mechanization is a character who we know and we care about. So one of the things I ended up doing with the Winter Soldier was I spent literally 10 days just on production with vocals because I wanted to get the sensation of a human trapped inside machinery. So I did a lot of vocal recordings and then processed the living hell out of them to get these tortured, time-stretched human cries of someone who has been so processed that it's become mechanized. But at the same time, you can still hear the human in there. So there you go. If somebody says that that's actually Bucky's scream, then they're wrong and they just get all their shit from IMDb. Now, they went through several designs for the Winter Soldier, starting with the original design by Steve Epstein from the comics. Epstein drew him with the domino mask, just like the one that Bucky originally wore. The art department experimented with the mask, but they set him on dark makeup around the eyes to mimic the look, but not actually show Bucky looking like a character from the 40s. So he is designed to be the visual opposite of Captain America, so his colors contrast with Steve's, and his mask covers the opposite parts of his face. They also wanted the technology of his arm to just seem slightly ahead of what Tony Stark could do at this time. And they also made 3 versions of the arm. One was digital for action scenes, and there was a foam version for scenes where Sebastian Stan had to act, and they also made a urethane version that was metallized just to look cool. And this laser cutter that Nick Fury escapes with has the same blue beam as this one, used to cut into the Valkyrie in First Avenger. And in the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. episode that aired right after this movie was released, it was revealed that Fitz actually invented that laser cutter.
Over my soul. Customer is really. Because I got you going selected for testing and then this distribution.
And then we go to Steve arriving home.
I like how you represent Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Now, Sharon was
Nobody wants to talk about Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
and first appeared in Tales of Suspense number 75, where, just like in the movie, Steve encounters her while he's in civilian clothes and he doesn't know that she is a S.H.I.E.L.D. agent. In fact, she reminds him of Peggy, who wouldn't have her first appearance until 2 issues later. Also, in that issue, Steve fights Batroc the Leaper, just like in this movie. In the audio commentary, Joe Russo said that even though there's obvious chemistry between them, Steve still has a hard time asking her out because underneath all that muscle, he's still just that awkward 90-pound guy. And I love how, like, awkward and hopeful he is after he asks her out.
Coffee.
And after he says, she replies, which sounds flirty, but it's really a S.H.I.E.L.D. agent not wanting her target to get out of her sight. The Russo said the reason Steve doesn't live in the Triskelion is because he wants to feel grounded. And we even saw this in Age of Ultron when he didn't really like living in Avengers Tower.
I don't think I can afford a place.
Now, on his shelf, we see a variety of historical books to make Steve Rogers appeal to a wide political spectrum. There's Madam President, about the possibility of a woman president, biographies of George W. Bush and Barack Obama, volumes of history about World War II, Sun Tzu's The Art of War, and The Night Stalkers, which is about the Air Force's covert airborne special ops. But he also has Hemingway's memoir, A Movable Feast, and The Catcher in the Rye, which oddly enough, partially actually inspired Mark David Chapman to shoot John Lennon. So its inclusion in the movie might be a nod to the villain of the movie being an assassin. There's also Never Surrender, the life story of the general who was the commander of the Delta Force mission in Black Hawk Down, and my favorite book on the shelf is All the President's Men. This is the memoir of Woodward and Bernstein and how they exposed corruption in the Nixon administration. This event led to a distrust in federal institutions and spawned the conspiracy thriller genre of the 1970s. And of course, the film adaptation starred Alexander Pierce himself, Robert Redford. The message from the bookshelf is clear. Consider Steve Rogers America's dad. Now, in the concept art for Steve's apartment, you can also see posters from Harley Davidson, World War II Army recruitment posters, and posters that he hasn't bothered to hang up yet, showing how his life of Captain America is actually taking priority over his life as Steve Rogers. Outside, when Sharon told him,
"What do you think you left your stereo on?"
he knew this wasn't the case because he had a vinyl record player that doesn't loop. The song played is It's Been a Long, Long Time by Harry James and Kitty Callan. It was actually released in October 1945 after Steve went into the ice. But it's easy to see why Steve likes this song. Harry James was very popular in the 1940s, and the song is a romantic sweep about a couple being reunited, exactly what Steve longs for with Peggy. And it's actually been used several times in the MCU. Peggy and Steve, of course, danced to it at the end of Avengers Endgame, but it was also featured in Loki's Season 1 finale during the opening scrub to the Sacred Timeline.
I'm friend from work.
You do this all day.
It's also in Season 2, Episode 5 of What If.
What? Faster. Cars, computers, and news moves fast.
Dancing?
And this is my favorite. The song inspired a level in the Star Wars Lego game where Wanda makes Steve hallucinate a dance with Peggy.
Oh wow.
So Steve sneaks in through a window
In a Lego game.
his shield,
So
just like we
stupid
see
ass
here in the
out here.
concept art. Fury says,
What?
and as we found out in Secret Invasion, Fury does have a wife. She is a Skrull shield agent who was completely unable to detect that Hydra had infiltrated S.H.I.E.L.D. for decades. Then Fury is shot with ball-piercing rounds, and as he hands over the algorithm, he says,
Trust in what?
which is good timing because that's right when Sharon enters, a person who Steve thought was a civilian who then turns out to be a S.H.I.E.L.D. agent. And this is a brilliant way to tell the audience that, hey, there is literally nobody in this movie that we can trust. And this makes us even doubt Natasha. Notice when she calls, she says, but the reply says, but Sharon didn't even say that shots were fired, but the agents on the other end already knew because Fury had his apartment bugged. Steve once again chases down an assassin just like he did in First Avenger, and he is once again an unstoppable force, even running through this office building like the Hulk in the Avengers. Just like in First Avenger, nothing can slow Steve down until the Winter Soldier catches his shield. Now, from the concept art, we can see they originally were going to film this with Steve throwing the shield upwards, but I like that he throws it on the level because it implies that Steve and Bucky are on equal physical footing. Also, this assassination scene with the Winter Soldier targeting from a nearby roof is lifted from the very first panel of the Winter Soldier that we saw in Captain America Volume 5, Issue 6. Then we go to Natasha arriving at the hospital, and there was actually a deleted scene where a cop tries to stop her and she breaks his arm. Even when Maria Hill
I want to see that.
it's Natasha's reflection that stays in focus. Notice that as she and Steve look through the glass, Natasha is the person who stays in focus. In the audio commentary, the Russos said that they did this so they could make the scene all about her and focus on what she was feeling. Steve didn't trust Fury, but to Natasha, this is a mentor and a father figure. One of the doctors is played by director Joe Russo, who returned for cameos in other movies that I'm going to talk about in future videos. Natasha is staying with Fury's corpse until Hill says,
Need to take him?
hinting that she was always in on this with Fury, helping him fake his own death. In the hallway, when Steve stares at the vending machine, notice how the sound drones out and then slips into diegetic sound, that is, sound within the scene. The Russos were actually inspired by this audio transition in The French Connection. Back at the Triskelion, Pierce shows Steve a video of Batrock's interrogation, which was carried out by writers Stephen McFeely and Christopher Marcus, making cameos in the film. He tells Steve that Fury paid Batrock to hijack the ship, which is true, but Fury did it so Natasha could steal the Project Insight data. Then he tells Steve that Fury inadvertently actually inspired him to join Hydra by showing him that he had to break rules to save lives.
Save the lives of a dozen political officers, including my daughter.
Then he gives Steve a version of the advice that Peggy gave him.
Sometimes the best thing is to start over.
To build a really better world sometimes means having to tear the old one down.
Again, we're seeing the theme of duality occur in this movie. Steve and Bucky are opposites of each other, and S.H.I.E.L.D. and Hydra are two sides of the same coin. And there are a couple of cool Easter eggs in the cinematography here. The shot of Redford looking out a window is an homage to Cliff Robertson's character in 3 Days of the Condor. And Redford is also filmed from Steve's hip, like they're gunslingers waiting to draw. Because that's what this scene is two men trying to size each other up. And then we go to one of the most famous fights in the MCU, the elevator. Notice how, before he boards, we can actually see the Watergate Hotel in the background, which is another nod to the 1970s conspiracy thrillers that this film is based on. Again, there's a metaphor here with an elevator going down as new secrets are revealed. Notice how, as they pass by each floor, it sounds like a heartbeat. Now, we begin in an empty elevator with transparent walls and a ceiling, so it's like we begin in a bright world, the bright, optimistic world that Steve came from. But as more people file in, the elevator becomes darker. It has the effect of making Steve feel claustrophobic, but also it's calling back to the darkened basements where secrets are revealed in other scenes from the movie. Now, after Steve clocks the soldier gripping his gun and a bead of sweat on this guy's face, he says,
Before we get started,
I love that line so much, which is why we made it into a t-shirt with an RPG of Cap deciding to either say that line or hail Hydra. If you want to buy that shirt at our merch store, links are below. The elevator fight actually set the tone for the rest of the film.
We took 7 days to shoot that one scene in the elevator. And that was the first scene we shot in the film.
The Russos and stunt crew were meticulous with their planning.
What we did is we made a mock-up elevator, the same dimension of what we were going to use.
And action.
And they used that set to model out the entire fight.
So when we show up on the day, it's just a matter of we've already done it. Let's just set up the cameras and shoot it.
Oh, I'm excited.
In the first draft, it was actually a chase through the Triskelion compound. But this scene has always ended the same way, with Steve falling and landing in the lobby. So this is actually a key scene in the entire MCU because, as the Russos say in the audio commentary, this is the moment when S.H.I.E.L.D. goes bad. 8 movies have built up to this, and we're just as shocked by the reveal as Steve is. So the tension is key in ratcheting up this betrayal. So this sequence begins with this inevitable feeling that Steve is in over his head and that things will end badly for him. The Russos use Brian De Palma's blowout as a model, where Jack has the best of intentions but ends up defeated and heartbroken by the end of the film. So Steve starts by dodging this baton, and then they detach the suitcase handle into a magnetic handcuff. When stuntman Guy De Silva was on the corridor crew, he said their direction at the start of the fight was,
Now let's all act like we're really busy. Get busy. Fall into each other.
Now, the first thing they do after hitting stop is to take Steve's shield from him. At first, Steve struggles against everybody trying to pin him down, but as soon as he overcomes them, the music kicks in. So this is an important character moment for Steve. He now has clarity and he knows who his enemy is. The guy who was sweating earlier has the second handle cuff, which Steve kicks to the wall, maybe giving Rumlow the idea to then kick Steve's arm so the handle does pin his right arm against the wall. And this also shows how much of a threat Rumlow is. Steve has trouble fending him off when he has one arm metaphorically behind his back. And notice the shock baton works on Steve, just like how Yelena Stinger slowed down another super soldier, John Walker, in the Thunderbolts. And I love this moment when Steve throws a guy in the air and then there's a literal smash cut to Sitwell monitoring the fight, which tells us that holy hell, everybody is in on this and nobody can be trusted.
The really cool thing about Chris Evans is that he's a super talented, athletic guy. He retains things amazingly well. I mean, I'm blown away.
Now, on the corridor crew, Guy De Silva praised Chris Evans, saying,
Chris Evans is dope because he'll come in and he has a dance background. He's a tap dance. So he understands rhythm and beats, and fight choreography is actually closer to dancing than it is to actual fighting martial arts.
So he grabs this guy's baton and uses it against the fighter, and then shows that he did not skip leg day, using a split kick and then prying the bracelet off the wall by using his full body weight. Then, when he faces off with Rumlow, he says, further showing how Rumlow respects Steve as a fellow soldier.
You got it, Elmo.
Shot where bodies and Steve's shield mysteriously appear, even though they weren't there a few seconds before. When Steve leaps from the elevator, it's also a metaphor for him completely rejecting the Hydra system of control and the spy game of secrets. And when he lands, he's able to survive because the vibranium shield absorbs the impact. But I love that it still hurts a little bit. And then we get the big set piece of the escape, Steve taking down a Quinjet. Now, this imagery of a hero taking down a large, non-human opponent is downright mythological. It's like Beowulf fighting the Grendel, or a knight fighting a dragon. In this case, the Russos were inspired by another great 1970s film, The Car Chase and the French Connection. They compared Steve facing the Quinjet to Popeye Doyle's determination to chase that train down in that film. And the sequence plays out pretty much like it is in the animatic. Steve uses his shield to disable a rotor, and then uses his bike to leap onto the top of the Quinjet so he can disable its rear engines. And he hangs off the side and escapes when it crashes. But the animatic includes a soldier watching this happen, who then lowers his gun when he sees that Steve just took down a frickin' Quinjet. Now, this is actually a new design of a Quinjet, larger and more heavily armored than the stealth plane we saw at the start of the movie. These models were built specifically with heavier weapons to serve on the Project Inside helicarriers. And there's also a deleted scene that takes place right after this where Pierce announces,
Captain America is a fugitive from Shield.
which further cements that Alexander Pierce is also part of this conspiracy. Now, there was another deleted scene that was never filmed that would have actually featured Clint Barton right here. Joe Russo told Screen Rant that originally Hawkeye was going to be one of the agents chasing Cap through Washington, D.C. They planned a sequence where he confronts Steve and outside the city. Steve pins him down.
That would have been dope.
In his ear. He's actually trying to help
But
him.
they would have had to make
tracker
them
in the
meet
city.
up with
Now,
Natasha
Ryder
though,
couldn't do
so
the scene
yeah,
because he was filming American Hustle and killed the messenger. The writers said they also filmed a sequence where they said where Hawkeye was, but it wasn't used in the movie. In Age of Ultron, it's kind of implied that he was with his wife and kids. So all of this leads into another deleted scene where S.H.I.E.L.D. agents track down Steve's uniform with the tracker. Notice we actually have this like Doom-esque first-person shooter angle. But then they discover his uniform is in some random guy's gym bag. And this is why Steve is wearing a hoodie, sweatpants, and sneakers in the next scene. And also, metaphorically, this is Steve shedding the skin of that darker, morally gray suit and molting into the colorful hero we see at the end of the film. So this takes him back to the hospital where Natasha tells him the spy ghost story of the Winter Soldier.
He's credited with over 2 dozen assassinations in the last 50 years.
So it's a ghost story.
Then she shows him her scar, saying,
Bye-bye bikinis.
But in Iron Man 2, we do see a photo of Natasha in lingerie, where we can see that she clearly does not have that scar. But the photo could have been taken before 2009 when the Winter Soldier shot her. Now, in the comics, Natasha actually had a romantic relationship with the Winter Soldier for years. In fact, years later, they retconned her origin story to say that she was actually decades old and they knew each other during the Cold War. Then Pierce does some clever politicking, tricking the World Security Council into doubling down on Project Insight and making them think that it's his idea.
This council moves to immediately reactivate Project Insight.
I think right here the movie is doing a great job of still making us think that the council could be the bad guys and Alexander Pierce could still be a hero. Steve and Natasha go to an Apple store to use the drive, and then the guy who helps them is played by D.C. Pearson, a veteran of the Donald Glover sketch group Derek Comedy, who also worked with the Russo brothers on the show Community.
That's a little bit.
And there was another deleted scene here where Sitwell shows the Apple Store cam footage to Maria Hill, and when she messes with him,
That's Captain America you're after. He tends to inspire a certain amount of loyalty.
he orders her off the assignment, and this is when Hill knows that Sitwell cannot be trusted. In this scene, she also says that she is planning Fury's funeral, which is probably why he has a gravestone at the end of the movie. On the escalator, the troops close in on them. And by the way, this is Joss Whedon and his son. So Steve wants to be tactical, like a soldier, while Natasha thinks like a spy.
Kiss me.
And then later on in the truck, she asks him,
Where did Captain America learn how to steal a car?
which is a slight reference to this scene from the terrible 1990 Captain America movie. And notice that she has her feet on the dash, a habit that we see her continue when she's at her desk at Avengers Endgame. And then she presses him.
Was that your first kiss since 1945?
And this conversation is similar to his discussion with Peggy in First Avenger.
Women aren't exactly lining up to dance with a guy they might step on.
So, I think in this moment, Steve might even be thinking of Peggy, which is the real reason he doesn't date, because his heart belongs to someone else. But I should mention that in the show She-Hulk, Bruce Banner does confirm that Steve did lose his virginity on the USO tour.
Captain America!
And then she tells him to make up a new life for himself, saying,
Truth is a matter of circumstance. It's not all things happen all the time.
and then
Well, that's it, bud. I put the cover over yeah. I'm about to get off the Twitch first as I've been on here a little longer, so
Dealer today during the summer event.
This is part of her journey in the movie and in the MCU. She begins the movie blindly following orders in a morally gray world. But at the end of the movie, she ends up revealing all of S.H.I.E.L.D.'s data, dumping a lot of objective truth onto the internet. Then they arrive at Camp Lehigh, where of course Steve trained in the first Avenger. And that camp also first appeared in the comic book The Adventures of Captain America, Sentinel of Liberty. Steve looks up at the flagpole, probably remembering the moment when he outsmarted everybody else and got her right back to base. Then he has a memory of his old drill instructor, and for a moment he watches himself in the past. Now, this sequence is a companion piece to the museum scene from earlier. Steve saw how his life moved on without him, and now he sees that after he left Camp Lehigh, the base continued to move on, with him being just a memory. Now, just like on the escalator, they have differing approaches. Natasha hits a